Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am. So before we begin the presentation, would like to give one small instruction. Presenter will get only 5 to 7 minutes for the presentation. Okay. So I would like to call Dr. Asma ma'am, who is the first presenter for the technical session 3. 5 to 7, sir. 5 to 7. ठीक है. हाँ देखो. पीपीआई डाउनलोड नहीं किया पीपीटी. देखो. जब तक टाइम काउंट हो जाता है. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to each all of you. My topic is my topic is transforming upper primary education through a project-based ancillary curriculum, a design-based approach to SDG 4. Actually, in the previous session, I have heard that the review of the literature must be there. But purposefully, I deleted because of the less time review of the related literature. But it has done in my, it's a project work. And second slide, please. And I will try to complete these aspects. Introduction of the topic, need and significance of the study, aim and objective, research design, intervention, including the review of the related literature, data collection and analysis, and suggestions and conclusion. This is my project of for Anjuman Islam. Education is undergoing a transformative shift in response to rapid technology, advancement, globalization, and changing societal expectations. Traditional education system, which largely emphasize rote learning and examination performance, all we are agree that now our performance is based on examination. Nobody can deny that those who are come topper of the college, we focus on his ability on academic only. But other skills and other abilities, we are not giving performance. We are not giving preference for them. So, keeping in mind, a project not only aligned with SDG 4, but also aligned with NEP 2020 at National Curriculum Framework 2023 and SCF 2023. But today I am going to focus on only SDG 4. Next slide, please. The need to foster a school education system that builds character and enables learner to well-rounded, healthy, ethical, creative, rational, compassionate, and creative individuals, while also preparing them well for higher education and for the gainful, fulfilling employment. And significance of the study to learn how to learn so that they may become lifelong learners. Because our focus on SDG 4 कि students को lifelong learner के लिए prepare करना है, whether they will go in any field. The ability to constantly adapt to changing times. Next slide, please. What is ancillary curriculum? The ancillary curriculum design refers to development of additional or supplementary learning that complement the main curriculum. These experiences can enhance student learning, provide additional support, and offer opportunity for students to explore their interests. Next slide. Why this ancillary curriculum we must add in the Anjuman Islam? Because it's the second project for Anjuman Islam. When I came return from the MIT training, Massachusetts of US Boston University, the first project was STEAM education. Then second project is ancillary curriculum. So in that, it's not curriculum without increasing workload, addressing unmet competencies, and this is the holistic development and for the future ready. हमको स्टूडेंट को फ्यूचर रेडी तैयार करना है एंड दिस वर्क इज डन ओनली फॉर द अपर प्राइमरी क्लासेस. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Objective, aims and objective. My aim is transforming upper primary education through a project-based ancillary curriculum, a design-based approach to SDG 4. I have learned in the review of limited literature, many of you have concluded that for these, the extra time is needed. Even they have given suggestion for the financial need they have. Infrastructure support is also required. So in spite of that, the limited resources with Anjuman Islam जो भी available है उसको utilization करने के लिए project implement करने को आया. तो मेरा objective first to identify gaps in the existing curriculum at the upper primary level, to design a project-based ancillary curriculum aligned with SDG 4. Then third objective, to promote lifelong learning through experiential and competency-based education, to enhance digital literacy and practical skills among students, to transform traditional classroom into sustainable learning ecosystem, and last one, to develop a scalable and adaptable model for diverse educational context. तो हमने ये जो मैंने डिजाइन किया है, तो आई हैव टेकन 13 एक्सपर्ट्स फ्रॉम द प्राइमरी, फ्रॉम द सीबीएसई, फ्रॉम द अंजुमन, दोज हु आर एक्सपीरियंस. उनको बोला कि फर्स्ट यू फाइंड आउट द गैप कि कहाँ हमारे करिकुलम में कौन सी स्किल नहीं हो पा रही है विथ साइंस, मैथ, ज्योग्राफी एंड हिस्ट्री सब्जेक्ट. और उसमें ये कॉम्पिटेंसी का गैप फाइंड आउट हुआ. कुछ स्कूल कर रहे थे, कुछ स्कूल नहीं कर रहे थे, बट आई हैव डिजाइन अंडर द हेडिंग applied practical skills, competency, digital literacy and fundamental soft skill. और इसके लिए जो steps है, next इस methodology के through मेरा पूरा project हुआ है. First we identify the gap, then हमने interview through workshop हुआ. Next ये होना चाहिए, interview through workshop. Sorry, orientation of the head से second, but उसके पहले मैंने gap identification के लिए review of literature हुआ है. उसमें मैंने जो जितने टीचर्स थे उनसे पूछा. देन ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ द हेड्स एंड सीनियर स्टाफ ओनली फॉर द 5th and 6th. देन इंटरवेंशन, हमने वर्कशॉप रखा. वर्कशॉप में टीचर्स को ट्रेनिंग दी. जो डिजाइन मैंने इसके पहले आपको बताया था, वो डिजाइन को हमने इम्प्लीमेंट किया विद आउटकम बेस्ड एजुकेशन के साथ. देन टीचर्स को टेम्पलेट दिया गया, 13 पॉइंट्स टेम्पलेट, जिसमें उन्होंने लेसन प्लान बनाया. वो लेसन प्लान में from the objectives to outcome and reflection of the students. उसके बाद मैंने उनसे डेटा लिया ऑन दी गूगल क्लास में. डेटा कलेक्शन के बाद में उसको इंटरप्रीट किया कि विच टेक्निक्स हाउ वी कैन इम्प्लीमेंट इन द क्लासरूम. एंड ये मेरे पास सारा कलेक्शन हो गया है. इट विल फॉर्म इन द बुक फॉर्म होगा, विच विल सर्कुलेट ऑल ओवर द अंजुमन, अदर देन अंजुमन ऑल्सो, वंस आई विल गेट अप्रूवल फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट. एंड एडिटिंग का काम हो गया है, डन. नेक्स्ट 1 minute please. ये मैंने जो कोर्स डिजाइन किया था मैंने ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम का, तो आउटकम बेस्ड एजुकेशन, जिसमें से एक रिसोर्स पर्सन आपके कॉलेज से है, डॉक्टर प्रतिमा साबदे. शी इज द विटनेस फॉर दिस प्रोजेक्ट. नेक्स्ट और भी है, हमारे डॉक्टर शीरीन पटेल है, मिस सूफिया है, मिस सूफिया अड्रूस है. तो दीज आर द विटनेस ऑफ दिस प्रोजेक्ट. एंड ये टेक्निक्स थी जो हमने प्रोजेक्ट में इस्तेमाल किए. लास्ट वाली स्लाइड प्लीज. लास्ट आउटकम पे जाते हैं. हाँ, आउटकम पे जाते हैं. इट इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड यूजफुल. This study understands the need for transformative educational practices that align with Sustainable Development Goal 4. The proposed project-based ancillary curriculum model provides a practical framework for developing lifelong learning ecosystems at the upper primary level by integrating experiential learning, Competency development and continuous assessment and model ensures that education remains relevant, inclusive, and sustainable. It prepares students not only for academic success, but also for lifelong personal and professional growth. Thank you so much. टाइम लिमिट कम कर दिया गया सेकंड सेशन में. आई थॉट कि ये Thank you, Asma ma'am. Very nice presentation and very ground level project are going there. Second, I would like to call Dr. Shirin Patel, Assistant Professor from Anjuman College of Education. So her title on a study on the integration of artificial intelligence tools in a teaching and learning. Shirin ma'am, please come. Thank you.
Thank you. Title of my today's article is study on integration of artificial intelligence tools in offline learning. So, specifically, I mentioned offline learning because most of the tools nowadays all the students still from the primary level to the higher education, all are using the different tools and AI tools for their teaching, learning, as well as for the presentation. So many things they do with the help of AI tools. This is the study which is conducting under research cell of AIPC. The finance has been sponsored by the Anjuman Islam, and this is one of the internal research where we are conducting action. We can see the action research conducted under research cell. So, enhancing teaching learning, I want to go directly to the objectives. These are my objectives of the study. The first one, the baseline knowledge. Assessing of educators regarding AI tools in education. The second objective is structured training, where deliver universal certified digital course to provide theoretical knowledge. The third is practical skills, where build hands-on experience workshop focusing on AI education tools. Next is effective measurements, which includes evaluate learning process, the post-intervention testing, and the last one, application evaluations. Next. AI benefits. The first one. This is about the interview. Next slide. Research design and participation. I want to go to the methodology. Here are the participants of this action research in my class of advisory, which is consist of 40 students from B.Ed course. And we have applied quasi experimental design. Next, next step. Training tool and instrument in use for the study. The first one, the pre-test questionnaire. And next we have useful certificate course. I want to more focus on useful certificate course. It is a digital teacher course, which is under free course under the UNESCO, which provides 4 credit course for the teacher trainings. Next we have AI tool workshop. We have organized 2 days national level workshop for all the teacher training. We have 90 participants from the HBBEd College, Oriental College, Humera Khan College of Education, and as well as for AIPC. Next we have, this is my intervention. So I will first I have conducted pre-test, then all the students enroll in the UNESCO certificate course, which is they have completed in 4 weeks of duration. Next we move on to the hands-on experience with the workshop. I would like to share that for this workshop, we have two experts from the different Institute of Teacher Education. The one is Mera Khan of College of Education, Dr. Varsha Maru was there. The second, Dr. Jyoti Bhatia from History College of Education, Bangalore. Next, we have admission the course list. This course is not only for the question. We have assignments. We have undertaken under the workshop. Like we have different tools like Gemini, then Google Workspace, then ChatGPT. Again, we have Canva. Then we have three more different tools which are used and hands-on practices conducted during workshop. So for the audience, because I wanted to train my teacher trainings to use different tools include with their internship. So when they go for internship, the Indian youth colleges, they can easily so you can see the students using the different they help out this is my output of the result, or you can say this is my gain of my whole result. Still, we have expert valuation is still pending. Already they have assigned some assignment to the students. Already the submissions were done. The evaluation is remaining with the experts. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shirin. Hello. Thank you, Shirin. The next presentation, Sunita G, Assistant Professor from the RR College. Sorry, Oriental College? Yes, Oriental College. Sunita.
My topic is it audible? My topic is English teachers as drivers of SDG for promoting inclusive literacy through language. Quality education is not a privilege. Actually, it is a right. To get everyone has to get a quality education. It regardless of gender or caste, sex, everything. And it is English teachers stand at the forefront of a global movement to ensure every learner, regardless of background or ability, has access to meaningful literacy and language education. These are the SDG 4 importance: quality education, inclusive literature, and language education. As we are all know that Sustainable Development Goal adopted by the United Nations in 2015, then it commits the world to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all 2030 by 2030. And also it encompasses access, equity, quality, and relevance, calling on educators to go beyond curriculum delivery and become architects of opportunities. And these are all the targets of SDG 4, which are universal primary and secondary education, and equal access to affordable technical and vocational training, elimination of gender disparities in education, inclusion of learners with disabilities and marginalized groups, promotion of global citizenship and cultural understanding. Linguistics and sustainable development. English teachers are taking a role of the forefront that the students from the students from small village, some people were use wrong kind of accent. The teacher has to acknowledge that and let them speak what they want to speak. For social inclusion. English is for like not for the only one community like elite or the wealthy people can learn English or not. But the people from even from the village people can learn the English. It is English is for open door for all the people. Science languaging. When the students are can't able to understand English means they can the student teachers can translate into the in their own language so that the students can easily understand and put forth a question in front of everybody. Culturally responsive teaching. Instead of reading about London or New York kind of books, they can read some kind of local book of tales translated to which is translated in the English, and the local student teachers can give the local environmental discussion to ensure their ability in the English language. Digital literacy and the rural tribe. It is it is the bridging the gap between the digital tools from in the village side. We can give the kind of in English teachers are introducing the digital kind of merging in the village side, so that has to be given. The critical media literacy, decoding bias in global media participation, empowering students for global digital democracy. And moving from the rote memorization to the that has to be should not be a rote memorization. That has to be taken to as a from memorizing to the uh, ask them to we can be like we can before the rote memorization we should not ask the students to rote memorize the things the instead of the we can give them to write some kind of letters according to the scenario, then they can learn the English very well. English teachers as agents of change. They are the English teachers are the some kind of the change in the culture. They are the mediators of the change in the English field.
you, Sunita. Thank you. Next, I would like to call Mrs. Farad. Farad, FY student from Anjuman College.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Farhad Baghdadi, an FY student and a proud AAPCM. I know the food was good and you must be sleepy, but I need your kind attention for 5-10 minutes, please. It is a privilege to share the work with people who are already deeply engaged with SDG 4, with the everyday realities of schools and teacher education. If you honestly think about our schooling, what comes to your mind first? If you think of your school, what is the image you get in your mind first? Anybody? Teachers, exactly. Teachers. So my starting point is really very simple, but quite demanding. SDG will stand or fall on what happens between a teacher and a group of learners in a simple classroom. We invest a lot of energy in policies, frameworks, and technologies, which are important though, but the paper I present today argues that teachers themselves remain the main delivery system for innovation and research of SDG 4. SDG 4, as we all know, moves decisively beyond access and enrollment. It asks whether education systems are offering learning that is meaningful and genuinely relevant to the lives of students or learners. With that architecture, target 4C of SDG 4 is easy to overlook and absolutely central. Organizations like UNESCO describe teachers as key agents, not only for SDG 4, but multiple other SDGs, because they think teachers shape how future citizens think about health, gender, inequality, and climate. Real education change usually begins with teachers, not just with new syllabi or new technologies. Policies can require activity based learning. Systems can purchase new devices, but nothing substantial changes until a teacher actually changes how they plan a lesson, how they listen, and how they respond when the students are confused or silent. It is these everyday micro decisions whose voices are invited, whose examples are centered, whose mistakes are treated as opportunities that big ideas of equity and inclusion either become real or remain rhetorical. Let's look at today's learner. In many Indian classrooms, we now teach Gen Z and Gen Alpha who arrive with smartphones, short attention span, and comfort level with technology. That was never part with most of our education programs earlier. A recent India Today feature that I draw on makes an important mark. India does not only faces a shortage of teachers, but it also faces a mismatch between the digital AI-rich environment students inhabit and preparations many teachers receive. Without deliberate support, the gap between students' lives and teachers' training risks producing frustration on both sides. So when we speak about teacher quality and SDG 4, we have to include this digital and generational dimensions very explicitly. To respond this complexity, the paper emphasizes two roles of teacher who can play. The first, teacher as innovators. Innovation, as I use the term, does not automatically means using sophisticated gadgets. It can simply as reorganizing groups, using local stories, designing, organizing project around environmental issues or rethinking assessment so that it is continuous and formative, and actually about the learner, what he or she can do. Any change that makes learning deeper, more effective, I think that is within the idea of innovation. Whereas classroom research or action research, to me, seems to be turning the classroom into an inquiry room. However, innovation and classroom research do not happen in vacuum. Teachers need time, encouragement, and basic tool of documentation. When school leaders, and I must say we are blessed to have one, value experimentation and do not punish the failure, teachers are much more ready to try. Now, this brings me to the system level. Here I use the National Indian Education Policy 2020 as an example of both opportunity and tension. On paper, NEP 2020 places teachers at the center. It calls them the most important member of our society and proposes a 4-year integrated B.Ed course, stronger norms for teacher education institution and regular professional development for all teachers. The reality, as many of you recognize from our own system, is more uneven. High stakes examinations and tightly packed syllabi further narrow the space for projects, discussions, or research like activities in classroom. I would like to end with a provocation that comes directly from the conclusion of my paper. SDG 4 sets a high bar, is not just schooling, but inclusive, equitable, and lifelong learning opportunities for all. Whether that remains a slogan depends largely on whether systems treat teachers as central drivers of education or as an instrument to implement scripts written elsewhere. For us and many similar contexts, the task is twofold. First, to build future oriented systems of teachers, education, and continuous professional development that take the digital, social economic challenges of the contemporary classroom seriously. Second, to create school culture that trusts teachers, give them space to inquire and collaborate and support them to take responsible risks in policies. And if we can do this, then classrooms can become place where students not only pass the exams, but grow into a capable, critical, and compassionate citizens. In that sense, investing in teachers is not just one component of SDG 4, it is the key that unlocks the entire SDG goals. Thank you so much.
Nice presentation, Farad. Next, I would like to call Ebtisam. Miss Ebtisam, SYBL student from Anjuman.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Ibtisam Khan, the SYBA student of AIAPCE. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all the respected dignitaries, principal ma'am, all the presenters, my teachers, and my dear friends. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my action research topic, and I'm thankful for your valuable presence, support, and encouragement. So today I'm going to present my action research on the topic impact of reading practice on cognitive understanding. This study comes under the sub-theme enhancing students' thinking through reading practices. Today, I will explain how regular reading practices help students improve their thinking ability, their understanding, memory, and confidence. Now, before moving ahead, let us first understand the meaning of cognitive development. What do you mean by cognitive development? Anyone? Okay, so cognitive development, it refers to the improvement of mental abilities like thinking, understanding, reasoning, problem solving. In simple words, if we talk about cognitive development, it means the development of mind and ability to process information effectively. So reading plays an important role in strengthening these abilities because when students read regularly, they learn to think deeply, understand its meaning, and connect ideas. How it is related to SDG 4? So, SDG focuses on ensuring inclusive, equal, and quality education for all and promoting lifelong learning opportunities. So reading practices, it supports SDG 4 because it improves understanding, it develops our thinking skills, it builds confidence and encourages active learners. Therefore, reading is not only a language activity, but also an important tool for overall cognitive development and quality education. The study that I conducted was at Mahir Ashram, which resides in Kopakhelme, Navi Mumbai. And the students there who lived in the ashram, they were well disciplined, they were well mannered, they were respectful toward the elders, the volunteers who were coming there. But many students they faced challenges in reading comprehension, their understanding was not that good. There were lack of confidence and there were low classroom participation. So some students were able to read words, but they were struggling to understand the meaning of those words, especially students from vernacular background. So after observing these issues, I decided to focus my research on improving students' cognitive understanding through regular reading practices sessions. So my objective for this study was the first objective was to improve student memory and comprehension. Second objective was to develop thinking and reasoning skills through reading practice. And my third objective was to study the effect of language on students' understanding. So these objectives it guided me throughout the research process. The methodology that I used for my action research was quantitative action research method through Likert scale, questionnaire Likert scale, and the sample were 30 boys in the ashram who was residing in the ashram, and I was observing them through observation method and through questionnaire method. The methodology was done to improve their cognitive understanding. Regular reading practice sessions were conducted with the students. So the progress of students was then carefully observed and analyzed. So the data collection and the analysis was done through their languages, how many students were able to speak in English language and how many were not able to speak in English and were comfortable speaking in Hindi. So in English language group, two students belong to the age group 6 to 10, one student belong to 11 to 15 years of age, and two students belong to 16 to 18 years of age. Whereas in Hindi language group, 4 students belong to 6 to 10 years of age, 17 students belong to 11 to 15, and 4 students belong to 16 to 18 years of age. So the second table shows that statistical analysis, uh, the Hindi group had a higher mean, whereas the English group showed less variation. So, however, when t-test results showed that the difference between the two groups was not statistically significant. So, to conclude, although there were a visible difference between the English and Hindi language group, the difference was not statistically significant. This means both groups performed almost similarly. Therefore, the hypothesis of a significant difference was rejected. So overall, the study shows that regular reading practices, it helps students improve comprehension, thinking ability, the confidence build, the understanding, the cognitive understanding it builds, which ultimately supports quality education. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. I hope this study highlights the importance of reading practices in improving students' cognitive development.
Thank you, Akshay. Now, next presenter will be here, Saisha Khan. Anjuman College, from Anjuman College. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Hanu Shaista, and I'm a student of Anjuman Islam Akbar Hibai College. And today I'm here to present my research paper on the topic the study of emotional development of children living in Mahir Ashram, Hoboken, Navi Mumbai. So, first, this topic is under the sub-theme aligning education with SDG 4, building the sustainable lifelong learning ecosystem. So, emotional intelligence is something that is identifying the emotions, then how to understanding the reason behind these emotions and how to express them. It is an important part of SDG 4 because it helps in overall development of the children. Now, the objective of my studies are, so first objective is the impact of relationship and the support, social support from the ashram on the children's emotional development. The next objective was the impact of self and esteem and the student confidence on the emotional development. And the third one is to examine the relationship between the number of years spent in the ashram and how it impacted the emotional development of the children. So, based on these objectives, I have three hypotheses. That is, first one is there is no significance or the impact of the social support and relationship of the children on the social emotional development. Then second was there is no impact of self-esteem and confidence on children's emotional development. And the last one is there is no significant relationship between the number of years spent in the ashram and the emotional development of the children. So for that, I have taken a 30 samples, it ranged between the 6 years to 18 years. And this sampling was done by the technique purposive sampling. So, for the methodology for this research was the quantitative approach, and the data was collected by survey form, Google survey form, and the responses were based on the Likert scale. So, from this research, the analysis after the analysis of data, the interpretation was found to be so. Based on these pie charts, depending upon the percentage of the children, it is found that the 50% of children found supported by friends and the caretakers in the ashram. So therefore, we reject the first hypothesis. That means the relationship and the support from the ashram has positively impacted the emotional development of the children. Then second objective, so based on the next pie charts, the percentage was found more than 50% students are self-confident, and therefore we reject the second hypothesis also. So it is also impacted positively on the emotional development of the children. So for the next hypothesis, I have conducted the t-test. So based on the t-test, the value of the t-test was found to be 2.83, which was less than the critical value, that is 4.303 at the 0.05 level of significance. So, based on that result, we accepted the third hypothesis. So, it was found that there is no significant impact based on the number of years spent in the ashram. Then the results were findings of the research was the data revealed that social support and self-esteem are critical drivers of emotional growth, while 53.4% of the boys feel supported by their friends and 66.7% feel confident trying new things. Many remain neutral or unsure about their abilities. Then, interestingly, the t-test, the value was 2.83, showed that the number of years spent in the ashram did not statistically improve the emotional development of the children. And the conclusion of the study was most, that is about 50% of the resident of the children living in the ashram feel supported by their friends and the caretaker and the teachers in the ashram. And the study found that the number of years spent in the ashram by the student was not significantly changes a child's emotional development. So, suggestion from the study was to promote the better healing. This research recommended that institutions should implement regular support groups and provide consistent praise to build the confidence and emotional security which is needed by the students. And next, these are the initial three slides. First, starting. There is a no significant impact of relationship and social support on child's emotional development. So this is the null hypothesis. Okay. So, then it- बाद में मुझे याद नहीं है. Okay. So if you mention the null hypothesis, then you mention in the bracket H0. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to call Dr. Babita Yadav from Anjuman College.
Good afternoon, dignitaries, faculty members, and presented here researchers. Myself, Babita Yadav. I am librarian of Anjuman College. So I'm going to present my topic is inclusive and equitable quality school education aligning with sustainable development goals for the differently abled students in Mumbai. So, so here we talk about SDG 4. So what is the actually SDG 4? This is the United Nations introduced the SDG 4 in 2015, part of the 2030 agenda. It promotes global peace, prosperity, equality, and environmental sustainability. Among the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 4 focuses on ensuring and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning. So, I will talk about in the context of differently able students. SDG 4 plays a significant role promoting educational accessibility and equal participation in academic and social activities. So here, SPC4 quality education targets 10 goals. So it's already talk about other researchers, so I'm not going to talk about. So here my objective of the research study to examine educational opportunities provided to differently abled students. Second, to evaluate the school infrastructure and accessibility for the differently abled students in the Navi Mumbai schools. Third is to identify challenges faced by differently abled people in the Navi Mumbai schools. Fourth one is to suggest measures for improving inclusive education in alignment with SDG 4. So I use methodology for this research. I collected data from the school selected school Navi Mumbai from their website.
So, comparative and team-based analysis were conducted for this research study. So, next one. So, I selected these five schools in Mumbai. First is skills and ability schools. This is the situation in Nehru. Second, Ali Yawat Jang National Institute of Speech and Hearing Disabilities. This is the Bangla. The Sunshine School for Differently Able Children, Wasi. And fourth is Sminda State School, Pune. Fifth is the Asa International School, Pune. So the limitation of the research study, this is the based only public available information from the school website. So practical classroom reality and stakeholder perspective may differ. So I conducted literature review and I found so many studies done on this research area. So first topic is accessibility tools and service. Here I found 10 literature review for this topic. Then second, 6 literature review done by library accessibility and services. And there is online services for people with disability, assistive technology. So many studies done on the assistive technology for the differently able people. So here research that. So I actually said so many research studies done on this topic, but in the Navi Mumbai school which I selected, not done. So this is the my research that. So I selected skills and ability schools. This is the website of the schools in the Nehru. So these schools provide skill development, vocational training for their students, and designation therapy rooms, computer labs, open gyms. These are the provided. So next. So these are the websites of the schools which were selected. So data analysis and interpretation. For differently able students. So like therapy services, speech therapy, physiotherapy, and counseling are important support system for differently able students. So here, future area of research, we can conduct research on this topic also. We can conduct survey method and their assistive technology. So I would like to suggest provide training program for the every teacher students, introduce assistive technology, promote awareness and sensitivity among students, and I also would like to suggest every government school and private school must be ensure all facilities given to the differently able people so we can access in every school, whichever private or government. So this is the references where I used tutorial reference management software for referencing and citation style. Thank you.
I would like to, sorry, I would like to call last participant, presenter, Ms. Renu Singh from the MCT College.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, respected dignitaries, chairperson, and dear participants. Before starting my presentation, I would like to ask question to all of you. मुझे ये पूछना है कि हम सभी पेरेंट भी हैं, टीचर्स भी हैं, तो हम अपने बच्चों के लिए या फिर हम बीइंग अ टीचर अपने जो क्लासरूम में बच्चे हैं उनके लिए पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं और कभी कभी हम अटेंड भी करते हैं। तो मुझे ये जानना है कि आपका एक्सपीरियंस क्या रहा है आपके टीचर्स के साथ, आपके जो बच्चों के टीचर्स हैं या फिर बीइंग अ टीचर आपको पेरेंट्स से क्या प्रॉब्लम्स रहती है, क्या शिकायतें रहती है। थोड़ा सा मुझे अगर आप बता दोगे तो वो मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा हेल्प आउट हो जाएगा मुझे आगे फर्दर एलैबोरेट करने के लिए। आपका आंसर कुछ भी हो सकता है। मैं थोड़ा सा और एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ। जब हम अपने बच्चों के पीटीए में जाते हैं तो हम जब टीचर से पूछते हैं कि टीचर हमारा बच्चा कैसा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, या फिर हम नहीं भी पूछते तो टीचर के पास पिटारा रहता है शिकायतों का कि बहुत मस्ती करता है, ध्यान नहीं देता है। तो ये सारी चीजें। यस मैम प्लीज। यस मैम। Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Being a teacher, you have expressed your opinion, but I just wanted to single opinion from a parent side. कभी ऐसा हुआ है किसी के साथ कि आप स्कूल में गए और टीचर ने मीटिंग के बाद आपको बोला कि आप रुकना, मुझे आपसे बात करनी है। ऐसा हुआ है किसी के साथ? ओके, आई होप, मुझे लग रहा है कि इसमें हम टाइम वेस्ट ना करें, बट मैं जस्ट मेरा एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगी। मैं जब भी अपने बच्चे के पेरेंट मीटिंग में गई थी फर्स्ट टाइम, तब वो नर्सरी में था और जब वहां पे मैं पहुंची तो वहां पे टीचर ने मुझे स्पेशली रोका और बोला कि मुझे आपसे बात करनी है आपके बच्चे के बारे में। तो उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि आपका बच्चा क्लासरूम में बैठता नहीं है, वो पूरी क्लास में घूमता रहता है और मैं जो भी बोलती हूँ वो कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं कर पाता है, तो आप उसको काउंसलर से गाइडेंस लो और सारा कुछ करो। और वो सिर्फ 2.5 years का था। फिर मुझे वहां पे ऐसा लगा कि ये कैसे टीचर है ना, 2.5 साल के बच्चे से एक्सपेक्ट कर रही है कि वो क्लासरूम में चुपचाप बैठ जाए और एज अ मशीन वो काम करे जैसा वो कमांड दे रही है ना। तो आउट ऑफ दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट माई सेल्फ एड इनरोल्ड इन बीएड 2019 में। मैंने जब बीएड में एनरोल किया तो वहां पे मैंने देखा कि मल्टीपल थिंग्स हैं जो बच्चों की साइकोलॉजी को लेके बातें कर रहे हैं, बट व्हाट अबाउट टीचर्स? टीचर्स के बारे में कोई क्यों नहीं बात करता, है ना। बच्चों की हम बातें करते हैं, टीचर्स की बातें होती हैं पर उनके स्किल डेवलपमेंट को लेके। व्हाट अबाउट देयर इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट, व्हाट अबाउट देयर मेंटल वेलबींग, व्हाट अबाउट देयर वेलबींग एज अ होल, मीन्स इवन इंटेलेक्चुअल, यू कैन से इट एज इमोशनल, एनीथिंग कुड बी। ठीक है। तो ये जो मेरा पेपर है आज का, इट्स जस्ट वी आर स्टिल इन प्रोसेस। So I didn't come to any evaluation, but the study what we conducted in our college, I just want to elaborate in front of you. And my topic of the paper is MCT's BA students perspective on self-awareness through well-being activities. हमने ये जो इनिशिएटिव लिया है ये हमारे बीएड के करंट स्टूडेंट्स पे है, प्लस हमारी जो प्रीवियस बैच है 24-26 की, उनमें हमने 1 साल का हमें टाइम मिला उनके साथ, ऑलमोस्ट 6 to 7 months का हमें टाइम मिला उनके साथ ये सारा एक्टिविटीज कंडक्ट करने के लिए। तो एक्चुअली मैं इसका एक बैकग्राउंड आपके साथ शेयर करती हूँ 1 से 2 मिनट में। In the month of October 25, our college has participated in an program which was initiated by Tata Institute of Social Sciences, ICMRs का प्रोजेक्ट है ये। और उन्होंने हमारे कॉलेज में विजिट किया था क्योंकि मैम ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था हमारे कॉलेज के लिए। तो उनका एक प्रोजेक्ट था जिसमें उनके प्रोजेक्ट का नाम है ICMRs मल्टी स्टेट रिस्क रिडक्शन एंड इम्प्रूविंग मेंटल वेलबींग अमंग स्कूल एंड कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स। तो हमने वहां पे उन्होंने हमें बताया कि व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट इनिशिएटिव्स गवर्नमेंट इज बीइंग टेकिंग फॉर टीचर्स वेलबींग एज वेल एज स्टूडेंट वेलबींग। बहुत सारी वेबसाइट्स हैं। काफी सारा वेबसाइट हमें बताया कि यहाँ पे ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिलेंगी, और फिर हमने एक हमें अच्छा टॉपिक मिला वहां पे कि हम इसको अपने बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस में इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं। लास्टली हमने एक्शन रिसर्च का किया था, तो उसी उसी फॉर्म में मैंने ये किया हुआ है। हमने मल्टीपल एक्टिविटीज कराई है। ऑब्जेक्टिव जो, हाँ, यहाँ सबसे पहले मैं एक्टिविटीज बोल देती हूँ। अब हाँ, हमने नवंबर मंथ से एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट कराई है। हमारी पहली एक्टिविटी है एक्सप्रेसिंग सेल्फ। नेक्स्ट जो एक्टिविटी हमें दिसंबर में करी थी वो रिलीजिंग एग्जाम स्ट्रेस, क्योंकि वो एग्जाम का पीरियड था, तो हमने ये सेकंड एक्टिविटी कंडक्ट करवाई अपने बच्चों के साथ। नेक्स्ट जनवरी मंथ में हमने मास टू मिरर एक्टिविटी कराई थी। ये एक्टिविटी बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि मुझे 2 मिनट का और एडिशनल टाइम दे दिया जाए ताकि मैं एलोबरेट कर दूं। नेक्स्ट फरवरी मंथ में हमने एक्टिविटी कराई थी परफेक्शनिज्म एंड सेल्फ कंपैशन के ऊपर, definitely or only for teacher educators. Sorry, our BEd students. Next one that is from stress to stress. ये हमारी मार्च मंथ की एक्टिविटी थी, और अप्रैल में हमने इन सारी एक्टिविटीज को अलाइन करने के बाद जो मंथ, क्योंकि हमारा एकेडमिक ईयर तो ऑलमोस्ट अभी एंड ही है, तो इसके पहले हमने स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट का रिफ्लेक्शन उनसे करवा के लिया। तो ये जो एक्टिविटीज हमने कराई है, ये हमने इनका जो सैंपल है या डेटा है वो हमने ऑफलाइन और ऑनलाइन दोनों मोड में लिया हुआ है। गूगल क्लासरूम में हमने उनको बोला कि आप जो भी एक्सप्रेस करते हो वो सारा शीट्स आप अपलोड करो। ये कुछ फोटोग्राफ्स हैं जो हमने लाइव करवाए थे, तो वो मैं आपके साथ शेयर करती हूँ। एक्चुअली इतना कम टाइम मिल रहा है मुझे एक्टिविटीज एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए, बट आई होप हमने ये सारा कुछ आगे के लिए भी प्लान किया है। और क्योंकि अभी हमारा ये क्वेश्चनर वगैरह जो हमने प्रिपेयर किया था ये वैलिडेट नहीं हो पाया है अनफॉर्चुनेटली, क्योंकि टाइम बहुत कम था हमारे पास, तो हमने ये सारा कुछ अपने पास रखा हुआ है और हमें ये कंटिन्यूशन में हम ये करने वाले हैं। और बीइंग एन पायलट प्रोजेक्ट आप समझ सकते हो कि हमने ये एग्जीक्यूट किया है अपने कॉलेज में, और आगे की स्टडी के लिए मैं चाहूंगी कि आपका भी कॉलेज अगर इन्वॉल्व होना चाहता है हमारे साथ तो हम इसको अच्छा कुछ लेके चलेंगे आगे। तो ये सारा चीज था, और थैंक यू सो मच कि आपने मुझे टाइम दिया 1 मिनट का, और तो थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, Renu ma'am. I would like to one more presentation here, Kulvinder Kaur. I would like to call her.
Thank you so much for accepting my proposal. I think I was delayed in sending my presentation yesterday. I'm Kulvinder Kaur, and I'm the first year student of Sainath Institute, which is also called as HB, first year BEd student. I am electronics engineer, and I've done my master's in power electronics. I know it's a different topic altogether for all of y'all, but yes, I've been working with junior college students who are like students of pre-primary. जब वो बच्चे आते हैं, we teach them alphabets, we teach them numbers, and throughout their life, they make all the combinations of that and live their life. Same way when they come in junior college, we make their basics strong. We have to see that they are learning something for their life and they make the right choice as a career. Their career is so important that it is all based on their interest. When we plan any curriculum for junior college students, we have to think that they have already made a choice, that they have taken science. So when I talk about electronics, it is a field of physics, which is a field of science, and children have already taken a decision to be in the science field. So when they're in the science field, there are a lot of things which we have to work on, practical things. So on this platform, where we are working on integrating ICT and activity-based education, learning and teaching both. Here, this was the right platform to experiment few things which were there on my mind for many years. We have been teaching those electronic students, the teachers have been following up the textbooks update. You know, what you can see in the microscope is that small 10 raised to power of 6 micro technology. This micro technology started in 1980. 70 was a little early stage, but at 80 it developed very fast. But in 2000, we entered the world of nanotechnology, the technology which cannot be seen even under the microscope. You know that practical examples अगर हम देखें, one movie what we used to download our time maybe 80s and 90s also, it would take 1 day or 2 days to download. Nowadays it is taking just a minute to download. Where there is an advancement in technology, but we still stick to curriculum which teaches us only few experiments in the lab and few trips, you can say, industrial visit where the students get some exposure for a day or two. But on this platform, to achieve the goal of SDG 4, we experimented on a class of standard 11, where we took up the new AI tools which developed the circuits in the classroom along with their curriculum. We did not waste much time on it. We just took a sample of 50 students. We made them understand a topic which we was taught to them in the beginning of the 11th standard. And then we started working on it on experimental basis. That if the technology works with microtechnology, what difference will it make when it becomes a nanotechnology? What is the speed difference? What is the performance difference? How are the circuit components replaced? Like I have put some pictures of Tinkerscan and the PET which was used as software for children, not only developing these circuits, what you can see on the screen, but also taking readings there itself. Why we can't do it otherwise? Why we can't do it otherwise? The reason is that money involved in this is so much that we actually cannot give, or colleges cannot get equipped with all these latest technology machines. You know, even in India, we don't have now with Modi Sarkar, we have electronics industry in Bangalore, where we have so many components where Indians are experimenting now. Otherwise, to get the hardware of computer system, what you can see, was only available in foreign countries, not in India. But our students are forming that base and going to this global platform where they have to present whatever they have learned so far. So the basics, if they are not good, अगर हम प्राइमरी प्री प्राइमरी बच्चों को ABCD और नंबरिंग सिस्टम का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं समझा पाएंगे, how will they make use of it? The same concept in junior college. It was meant, this electronics initially started with the idea of that interns for jobs milte the. After 12th standard, they used to get jobs. So when they introduced microtechnology, they were working with microtechnology. Nowadays, when interns go for job, they are working with the speed of nanotechnology. So 1 day long, 24 hours to take to download a movie, now it is taking just a minute. So how do they work? How do we communicate? How do we send such a large data abroad? So with all these things, what experiments we did in the class, we understood students started understanding their syllabus very well with their applications. And what I found that what I could have further improved is the technology should be introduced in the classroom through government, through the institutes, or little investment should be done so that our Gen Z can really progress well. Thank you.
So all presentation is done are here. So any questions? We will move for the question answer session. Any questions from the presenters or participants?
Yes, we had a discussion session this evening. Especially the work done on external curriculum is a very advanced thinking. But this project, one more aspect is missing. That is, we have to work on the curriculum which can be made absolutely. Because what you are planning for the next, we have to leave the waste. If that aspect is also covered, then this project is going to be. Otherwise, that's the absolute tourism is not the problem. I don't know whether we have got over this.
This curriculum design is based on the 13 features. We have 10 features. Feedback on that. Feedback after the reflection of the classroom, the reflection from the teachers. Now I have given final feedback. After that, I'm going to ask the question. Okay, I would like to call Dr. Sangeeta ma'am. I invite her to give valuable feedback and guidance to the presenter.
A very good afternoon to all. Honorable guests for the day, the epitome of education system, University of Mumbai, our own Honorable Dr. Aswini Karamde Madam. We are very happy and privileged to have you on this occasion, ma'am. It is for the first time in the history of Navi Mumbai, all B.Ed colleges, all trio college, Anjuman Islam, HB B.Ed college and MCT college comes under only one roof, and they have organized such a beautiful international conference, that too with such high-tech facility, as well as the paper presenters from different nook and corner of Maharashtra. Thank you so much. Since morning, it was a huge brainstorming session going on with a break. But here in the second, in this technical session, I'm happy and thank you, madam, for inviting me to chair the session. It's not just a conference to present the paper and going back to home. It's something we have something in our hands so that we can take away and we can utilize that in our classroom learning environment. Every now and then, every second college is organizing seminar conferences and all. But the main objective is for today's session, how we can implement that in our fraternity. It is called our classroom learning. Earlier was the day, gone are the days when teachers were made only to enter the class. They have to lead the classroom. But nowadays, this is not the scene. Like Farhat, one of the best papers he has presented, one of the student of FY B.Ed, she mentioned, there is a gap. If unless and until we are not preparing the teachers for the future generation, like Gen Z learners, then how can we sustain? Like in this in education system, if we want to sustain, then we have to be very careful and digitally fluent. Then only we can, we can establish a relationship between teacher and student. Otherwise, it's a huge gap between the teachers that we are preparing in B.Ed, in teacher education institutions, and the students who are learning in CBSE and IB board schools. So we have to fill that gap. So here there are 9 paper presenters, and all are diverse papers. Some are related to ICT and AI driven strategies. Some papers focused on the mental well-being of the teachers as well as the students. Very nicely presented by the students that I can appreciate, because they have presented their action research report with that too related to t-test, hypothesis, conclusion, references, and the references given by Dr. Babita. These are awesome. So the first, how can I forget the first paper presenter, host of the seminar, Dr. Asma Sheikh Madam. Really, it was a nice paper that you have mentioned the ancillary curriculum. We cannot discard the curriculum. Rather, we can correlate with SDG 4 and we can co-create the curriculum as per the local need. This is SDG. Being a teacher educator, like how we can empower ourselves, how we can maintain the quality of education unless and until we have no right to change the curriculum. There are policies, there are policy makers and many more. But as a teacher, we can co-create the content, we can co-create the curriculum, we can change. That is called flexible pedagogy that we can implement in our class. So that project that you have mentioned, it is very nice. And outcome-based education, competency-based education is the only strategy where the teacher can, nowadays teachers are not only to assess what they have written, or it is not a test paper that we have to assess. The traditional and conventional teachers are doing that. Nowadays, what we only have to do is we have to assess the skill, that is called the mastery over the content, that we have to assess among the students, not the test papers we are going to test, that the AI will do. Everybody is, nowadays in a fear and phobia, AI will replace the teacher's position. No, rather AI is the superpower in the hand of teachers. Then only we can drive the education era. So this is all about contextualizing the content that Madam has mentioned. The second paper presenter was Dr. Sirin Patel, who mentioned the digital empowerment. Here the topic is empower the educators. That is related to AI-driven assessment that I have noted. Like, let the AI to do all the assessment part, like grading, giving marks, all these things. Then only the teacher can focus, or then only the teacher can only focus on the human connectedness. That is called human connectedness. That is the. Thank you, sir. Please welcome. If the teacher will focus on the content delivery, then how can we empower the teachers with AI or any ICT tools or strategy? That is, let us focus how, if we are giving more focus or more time to teachers to focus on ICT or let other activities, then only we will be doing the less content delivery part. We teachers are not content deliverers. Let them give the chance to use the AI so that they can focus more on human connectedness and more on mentorship on the learner, not on the content part. The teacher doesn't have to only deliver the content. Let the work assigned to AI. So this is how the AI is a superpower in the hands of the teachers. They will lead the classroom. Next paper presenter, Sunita ji. I appreciate this is your first paper presentation, and being a teacher in the Teacher Education Institute, you have presented the paper very well. That too focused on English pedagogy. Being an English teacher, she has focused how SDG or in curriculum we can involve, like SDG we can involve in English pedagogy while teaching. She mentioned, again, We should discourage the rote memorization and we can encourage the writing part. Farhat, the student of FY BEd, very nice paper presentation she has done. And she only mentioned teachers are not the part of SDG. They are the agent of SDG. Without the role of the teachers, we cannot fulfill the goal of SDG. Everybody is mentioning the goal of SDG, but here our part to understand exactly what is the role of teachers, just to bridge the gap between Gen Z and Gen Alpha learners, what they want and what we are going to deliver. There is a huge gap, so we have to maintain this with the help of ICT and all other strategies. Then Ebrism Khan, reading practice, he has mentioned very nicely, as teachers should be professionally, professionally and ethically grounded and digitally fluent. I'm telling you, digitally fluent. Unless and until you are not digitally fluent, you will be removed from the education system. This is the scenario. So, dear students, dear teachers, at least, at least be professional by continuous professional development, by engaging yourself and upgrading yourself. Next, you have to be ethically sound. That is, though AI is a machine, ICT is coming, everybody, but human connectedness and empathy, that will never goes out of the scene. And Sahista Khan, one of the papers she has presented on social and emotional well-being of the teachers. Dear participants, let me mention you here, NEP 2020 also focused on well-being of the teachers. Unless and until the teacher is mentally sound and healthy, how can she deliver? How can she enter in the class? So to maintain the well-beingness and the positive environment, social, economic, social, mental well-being of the classroom, the teacher has to be mentally sound. So in nowadays, every schools, every colleges has appointed counselors, but our role is to motivate the teachers. Let them act like a mentally good faculty, or they can treat the students just like the human beings and individuals. That is called empathy. Renu Singh very nicely presented the well-being activities that has been conducted in MCT Airoli, and very nice. It's really appreciable. It is your best practice, and that will lead the next generation. And the last paper presenter, Kulvinder Kaur, it is out of the box nanotechnology and the electronics part that you have introduced. What I understood is only the ICT. Earlier days, it was very difficult for the teachers. Nowadays, it is very easy for the teachers to download anything. Here I can add, every teacher should download Diksha app and some other technology in your mobile phone rather than investing time in other activities. It is better to upgrade yourself, because teacher's role is now to develop yourself, to upgrade yourself with different activities by engaging yourself in other activities. Thank you so much, madam, for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta Nath, ma'am. Behalf of the organizing committee, I express my sincere gratitude to our respected chairperson, Dr. Sangeeta Nath, ma'am, for her valuable presence, guidance, and insightful remarks throughout the session. I also extend heartfelt thanks to all presenters for the sharing their research ideas, all participants and attendees for their active involvement in this session and cooperation. And thank you, everyone. Now I hand over the session to Mrs. Roshni Kharan to begin valedictory session.
Uh, good, good afternoon. May I request Asma ma'am and Parichandra madam? Uh, I hope everyone has settled down. Students, kindly settle down. Good afternoon, esteemed dignitaries, respected speakers, distinguished guests, and passionate participants. As we bring down the pressure on this inspiring, insightful, and thought-provoking international conference on SDG 4, quality education, empowering quality education for all, innovations, research, and global collaborations for achieving SDG 4. I, Mrs. Roshni Khara, Assistant Professor from HBBL College, Vashi, feel deeply honored to present the final chapter of our shared journey today. Over the last 2 days, we have delved deep into the vital and often challenging landscape of achieving quality, inclusive, and equitable education for all by 2030. We have analyzed the gaps, celebrated the innovative solutions, and most importantly, reaffirmed the commitment to being agents of change in the educational ecosystem. We heard from experts that SDG 4 is not just a target, it is the fundamental enabler for all other sustainable development goals. Yesterday, in concluding address, Dr. Sushmita Patra said that be a disciple like Chandragupta, be a disciple like Arjuna, and be a teacher like Chanakya, Bhagwan Krishna. It is absolutely true. But SDG 4 suggests Eklavya and Karna from today's society also should not left out of the educational process, irrespective of their backgrounds. Because the core message of this goal, development, SDG development goal is education is a right, not a privilege. The discussions have sparked new thoughts, challenged our perspectives, and bridged the gap between policy and practice. Let's begin valedictory program with very melodious university song. May I request Divya ma'am play university song? Let's rise for the honor of the university song.
वीडियो देखना चाहिए। Hello. Hello. But. Hello. Can't hear you.
बॉम्बे के जितने भी स्टूडेंट को कंपाइल करके एग्जाम करते हैं।
तो नीचे थे
हाँ वो तो मैं नीचे लिखूं। सर वो दूसरा चीज है कि आपने कुछ कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज किया
जी।
ये सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स क्वालिटी एजुकेशन, तो उसके ऊपर मुझे थोड़ा डिटेल्स मिल सकते हैं? किससे बात करूं?
वो तो स्टाफ टीचिंग स्टाफ से बात कर सकते
अच्छा
हैं, नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ।
अच्छा, तो वो अभी चल रहा है?
चालू है नीचे।
कहाँ पर कौन सी जगह होगा?
नीचे हॉल में है।
अच्छा, किससे बात कर सकते हो?
टीचिंग स्टाफ से अभी तो बिजी है ना, उसमें फिनिश होने के बाद
हाँ बस मतलब क्लास का पार्ट में अटेंड कर लूंगा, थोड़ा देख।
Today, we are blessed with many distinguished personalities from online and offline. Madam, please up here. And I think Mr. Buran Harris has joined online. So welcome, sir. Is our chief guest, Dr. Ashwini Karwande, HOD, Department of Education, and Mr. Buran Harris, Honorable Executive Chairman, BINM,
Also, we have Mr. Iqbal Kauri, sir, CDC member, Anjuman Islam. So we welcome all of you, and I request Iqbal sir to felicitate our chief guest, Dr. Karwande. Big round of applause. Welcome, madam. May I request Dr. Savita Sabale, welcome, sir. Sir, this welcome is from three host colleges. Thank you, sir. And request to be up here for a few seconds. Uh, Knowledge when shared has the power to transform. Today we are not just gathered to speak, but to document our collective wisdom for the generations to of learners to come. As a part of this grand conference, we have two special milestones. First is our conference proceeding, and second is newsletter of MCT College of Education and Research. So I request our chief guest to kindly honor this session, and I request to release the abstract proceeding of this conference. This volume is curated collection of abstract of research papers, which represents the cutting edge of educational innovations. Congratulations and thank you. Uh, Secondly, it is time to release the newsletter of MCT College of Education and Research. I now request our chief guest and Mr. Iqbal sir to kindly do the honor of officially releasing the newsletter. Congratulations, MCT. This newsletter will be our vibrant chronicle capturing the highlights, the behind the scene moments, and the voice of participants. This newsletter is a part of MCT's legacy in the journey towards excellence. So congratulations once again, MCT. I request all to be seated. Welcome. No? Ara. Ara. I also welcome Dr. Hur Hassan madam and Husnara madam. Welcome for this conference. Let's proceed. Now I call upon Dr. Jyotirmayi Nayak, Assistant Professor, MCT College of Education and Research, to present the report of the day one. Jyotirmayi Nayak.
Very good afternoon to one and all. Very good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Dr. Jyotirmay Nayak from MCT's College of Education and Research. Feel privileged to read the report before you of two-day international conference on SDG 4, Quality Education, Empowering Quality Education for All, Innovations, Research, and Global Collaborations for Achieving SDG 4. Though it was held in hybrid mode, it witnessed active participation from educators, students, researchers, faculty members of different prestigious institutions from multiple countries. The event served as a platform for knowledge exchange, showcasing innovative pedagogical practices and fostering global collaboration to advance quality education aligned with Sustainable Development Goal 4. Friends, the program was structured into inaugural sessions, keynote address, technical presentations by resource persons, and research papers and conference paper presentations by participants, all focused on empowering quality education through educator empowerment, innovations, research, and global collaborations. The conference commenced with the inaugural ceremony that established the collaborative and scholarly atmosphere for the day's proceedings. Ms. Sophia Sheikh, Assistant Professor, Anjuman Islam College of Education, delivered the welcome address and introduced the distinguished guests, including Dr. Jahir Aikaji, Padma Awadi, Honorable President, Anjuman College of Education and Research. Then Raimo Shalo from Finland and other educational leaders from various institutions. The conference featured a traditional lamps lighting ceremony, symbolizing the illumination of knowledge and the shared intellectual purpose, uniting participants across different geographical locations. This was followed by the singing of the university song, emphasizing the themes of harmony, unity, and collective commitment to educational excellence among all conference participants. Dr. Asma Sheikh, Principal, Anjuman College of Education, delivered a comprehensive theme orientation for the International Conference on SDG 4, articulating the conference's core focus areas, empowering quality education through educator empowerment, innovations, and research and global collaborations. Following the orientation, Dr. Raimo Shalo, recognized as a global leader in educational transformation from Oulu University Teacher Training School, Finland, presented the keynote address. Dr. Shalo introduced an innovative pedagogical methodology called the tripod method, specifically designed to support newly arrived students in integrating into the Finnish education system. He emphasized the critical importance of developing individual study plans that are carefully tailored to accommodate students' diverse cultural background, prior educational experiences, and specific learning needs. Subsequently, Mr. Soeb Rais, Honorable Joint Secretary, Anjuman Islam College of Education, gave a presidential address on behalf of Dr. Jahir Aikaji, providing detailed insights into Anjuman Islam Institute's commitment to providing quality education to first generation learners from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. He highlighted several key institutional initiatives, including bilingual teaching approaches to support multilingual learners, strategic collaborations with prestigious international institutions such as MIT and Oulu University, and the Sahara Scholarship Program.
The program proceeded with the introduction of the guest speaker, Dr. Rania Lampo, a globally acclaimed STEAM educator from Greece, who would address international education collaboration in the subsequent session. Dr. Rania Lampo presented a comprehensive analysis of education collaboration and challenges across international contexts, drawing extensively from successful practices implemented in Greece and throughout Europe. Her presentation highlighted several key collaborative mechanisms, including multicultural education frameworks, digital learning platforms that transcend geographical boundaries, and structured teacher exchange programs that facilitate cross-cultural professional development. Dr. Lampo addressed the significant challenges associated with transferring educational models and practices between countries with different educational traditions and context. She also examined the evolving role of digital technology in education, with particular attention to artificial intelligence implementation, emphasizing the necessity of evidence-based decision-making, interdisciplinary collaboration, and systemic approaches to promote sustainable and innovative teaching practices that can be adapted across diverse educational contexts. Following Dr. Lampo's presentation, Dr. Afia Riaz Mohammed, Special Education Needs Teacher, Greenwood Academic Trust, Nottingham, UK, delivered her session on integrating SDG 4 principles into curricula, with particular focus on inclusive and quality learning for all students. Dr. Afia Riaz Mohammed provided an in-depth presentation on inclusive education practices, focusing on practical implementation strategies, including individualized timetable that respect each student's learning pace and style, sensory learning approaches that engage multiple modalities, and diverse communication methods adapted for students with varying special educational needs. The presentation stimulated rich discussion with conference participants sharing practical examples of implementing these strategies in their own teaching context, while also identifying significant barriers, including limited physical infrastructure in schools, inadequate resources, and time constraints that challenge comprehensive inclusive education implementation. Dr. Pratima Shapte, Assistant Professor, MCT's College of Education and Research, provided concluding remarks for this session, reinforcing the imperative of transforming education system to effectively meet SDG 4 goals through sustained commitment to inclusivity, continuous innovation in pedagogical approaches, and ongoing teacher professional development. For the technical session, one presentations, there were actually overall 46 conference papers were received from participants from various educational institutions for this international conference. The afternoon technical session of day one was formally opened with welcoming remarks from Dr. Swarnalata Harichandran, Principal SBBI College, Kochi, who introduced Dr. Sushmita Patra as the session chairperson responsible for facilitating and providing feedback on the research presentations. The technical session continued with multiple research presentations addressing various dimensions of education and sustainable development goal 4. Dr. Sati Shinde, Assistant Professor, SPBI College of Education, was facilitator for technical session 1. The technical session culminated with presentations from 7 researchers who shared their empirical findings and theoretical frameworks related to SDG 4 implementation. Dr. Sushmita Patra, serving as the session chairperson, provided constructive feedback to each presenter, highlighting strengths in their research methodologies and offering suggestions for further investigation. At the end of day one program, the conference organizers express sincere gratitude to all participants, presenters, keynote speakers, session chairs, and supporting institutions who contributed to the success of this event. Special appreciation is extended to the international speakers who shared their expertise despite geographical distances, and to all the researchers who presented their valuable findings. The organizing committee acknowledges the technical support team for managing the hybrid format of the conference and facilitating participation from multiple locations. With this, I conclude the day one report. Now I would request and invite Dr. Sirin Patel, Assistant Professor, Anjuman Islam College, to present before you second day report of the international conference.
Assalamualaikum. Very good evening to all. Day 2 of international seminar started with 11:30. 11:30 a.m. we have started with the registration of the participants with the very fresh breakfast. We move towards our the day started with the gracious welcome of and the introduction of the guest. For the technical session, we have the chairperson, Dr. Saramma Matthew, Associate Professor of Pillai College of Education, and Dr. Palguni Shah from RR College of Education. From RR College of Education. ये एनर्जी लो दिखा रहा है. ब्लिंक हो रहा है ना, ब्लिंक हो रहा है. बैटरी The second technical chairperson of the day was Dr. Palguni Shah, Principal of RR College of Education and Research, Bolon. Under their chair, we have presented 9 paper presenters were presented their articles. The first was Mrs. Shweta Batra, Educationist and Mindset Coach. She had presented her paper on the title Biological Baseline, a conceptual framework for teachers as emotional first aid providers in the pursuit of SDG 4. The second presenter was Dr. Jamil Dawood, former registrar, AI Calcica Technical Campus Banway. The title of the paper was Educational Quality, Role of Accreditation, Institutional Vision, and Leadership Towards Excellence. The third paper presenter was Ms. Veena Peria. Title of her paper was Lifelong Learning Beyond Age, Integrating Genealogical into SDG 4. The next presenter was Dr. Jyotirmayi Nayak, MCT College of Education and Research. The title of her paper was Spiritual Digital Approach for Meaningful Learning. The next we have online presenter from RR College of Education, Mrs. Chitra Khadekar and Ms. Aditi Mangesh Tavre. They have presented paper on the title BDB, a peer-led digital revolution in teacher education. Next, we have the last presenter of that tertiary session was Ms. Ayman Damaskar, Assistant Professor of AIAPC. The title of her paper was Institutionalizing Service Learning as Catalyst for SDG 4 and Ethical Professionalism. The question answer session was conducted in that the participants were asked few of the questions. One of the participants, Dr. Swarnata Harichandran ma'am, added her own viewpoint how adult education can be continued at the age of 70. She was her own experience, like a real experience she was shared with the chair and the participant. Then the remark received from the technical chairperson. During her remark, Dr. Matthew has insightfully, structurally, she has talked about how a research article should be presented, what are the integral part of research article, and she was also encouraged all the participants who have presented their papers along with the Dr. Falguni Shah. She was add on to her feedback. She told the in the era of technology, how we driven into the technological skillfulness, and she was gratitude congratulated all the participants for the presentation. Next, at 1:30, move on to the lunch break. Again, we are resume at 2:30 with the technical session 3. The technical session 3 is technical session 3, audience secretary Dr. Savita Savle ma'am, session chair by the Dr. Sangeeta Nath, principal of Oriental College of Education, Sanpada. Paper presenter facilitator is Mrs. Bhavna Panchal, assistant professor, MCT College, Airoli. We have facilitated the chairperson, Dr. Sangeeta Nath ma'am. It continue with the paper presentation. The first paper was presented by Dr. Asma Sheikh, principal of Anjuman Islam Akbar Bibi College of Education, on the topic transforming upper primary education to a project-based auxiliary curriculum, a design-based approach to SDG 4. The second presenter is Shirin Patel, myself. I presented my paper on title, A Study on Integration of Artificial Intelligence Tools in Teaching Learning. The third presenter was from Oriental College of Education, Sanpada, Ms. Smita G. She was presented paper on the title, English Teacher as a Driver of SD4, Promotive Inclusive Literacy Through Language. Next, we are presented from the class SY of AIPC, Ms. Farhat Baghdadi. Her title was Teacher as a Driver of Quality Education, Innovation and Research for SDG4 Implementation. Next, we have one more SY student from the AIPC, Ms. Ibtisam. She has presented paper. The title of her paper was Impact of Reading Practice on Cognitive Understanding. This paper is based on her action research of SY. Next presenter, we have one more SY student of AIPC, Ibtisam Khan. The title of her paper was Aligning Education with SDG 4, Building a Sustainable Lifelong Learning Ecosystem, a study on emotional development of children living in Mahal or Ashram, Mumbai. Next, we have our own librarian of AIPC, Dr. Babita Yadav. She has presented paper on the inclusive and equitable quality school education aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal for the differently abled student in Mumbai. The last one more presentation we have Ms. Renu Singh, Assistant Professor of MCT B.Ed College, Airoli. The title of her paper was MCT's B.Ed Students' Perspective on Self-Awareness to Well-Being Activities. The last presenter of this session was Ms. Kulvinder Kaur, a student of HBBEd College. The title of her paper was Integrating ICT-enabled and activity-based teaching with electronic curriculum. The question answer session was conducted. One of our paper presenter and participant of the international conference, Dr. Dawood Jabir, has added his view on ancillary curriculum. The session chair, Dr. Sangeeta Nath, has put her own viewpoint, the feedback on the different paper presentations and the feedback of all the presenters. And even she was very happy with the presentation, how the SY students have been prepared their own research papers and presented in the session. And she was focused on how NEP and SDG can be aligned with the teacher education.
After this one, we have concluded the technical session 3 and move forward to the validity program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lizzie ma'am and Shri ma'am. It was a detailed report. Now it's time to participants' feedback. To hear how this seminar has resonated with those for whom it was organized, I would like to call upon our active participants to share their takeaways. I think we have one online review. If Dr. Vithova Sawant is there, Vithova sir, तुम्ही आहात का? Vithova sir? I think he is not there. Moving forward, I'll call Dr. Jamil Daud sir. Vithova. Yes. Vithova sir, you can share your feedback.
Yes, 1 minute. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Respected principal, professors, and dear students. I am Dr. Vithova Sawant, Assistant Professor from Pillai College of Education and Research, Chembur. It is my great privilege to share my feedback on this 2 days international conference on SDG for quality education. The conference was very well organized in both online and offline modes. Both the days were highly informative and inspiring for us. The resource persons shared the valuable knowledge and insight about the quality education. And we learned many things, new things from the session. I feel honored that on the first day, I got the opportunity to present my research paper as the first presenter. I sincerely thanks to all the principals, professors, and the organizing for giving me opportunity to present my paper. Special thanks to Chairperson Dr. Sushmita Patro ma'am for her valuable feedback to all presenters, paper presenters. Today's offline experience, along with the online the streaming on YouTube, was truly wonderful. I sincerely appreciate the excellent planning, coordinations, and the hospitality of organizing team. My heartfelt thanks to the principal, Anjuman College of Islam, Dr. Asma Sheikh ma'am, Dr. Sherin ma'am, HBBA College Principal, Dr. Swarna Lata ma'am, Assistant Professor, Dr. Rekha ma'am, Dr. Sati ma'am, Mrs. Roshni ma'am, MCT College Principal, Dr. Savita Sabe ma'am, and her team, and all the organizing teams of the colleges for the hard work and dedication. Thank you so much to everyone for making this conference meaningful and memorable. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vithova sir. Next, I'll call upon Dr. Jamil Daud sir, former Registrar, Anjuman Islam, Kasika Technical Campus, Panvel.
Good evening. My former colleague and guide, Iqbal Kavareza, Principal Asma Sheikh, the chairpersons of today's sessions, and my brothers and sisters. I had a very good experience with these 2 sessions, and what I have felt, I'm expressing in my own words, the beautiful hospitality given to the participants in terms of the refreshments and the lunch. Besides what most of the speakers, they have stressed upon the SDG 4 goals, which is one of the United Nations sustainability goals, that is the quality education. We have stressed mostly upon the use of artificial intelligence, ICT tools in the education sector, the value and the role of the teachers towards attaining the SDG 4 goals. Most of the teachers or the participants, they are mainly focused upon the need of the institutions, which my paper was also involved, the institution's vision, the leadership role, and the value of the accreditation agencies in education. The United Nations goal, that is SDG 4, is a sustainability development goal 4. See, sustainability of the sustainable technological development is a concept which is not based only on technology. It's based on the beautiful human qualities also. Because the lacking of the human qualities, you cannot sustain the goodness. We train the students in the colleges for goodness, for truthfulness, for all beautiful qualities. But when they come in the professional life, it is difficult to sustain on those beautiful human qualities. Because the question lies, why I should remain good when I am unable to fulfill my desires? So I should adopt the bad path or the wrong path to fulfill my desires. So the question lies with the institutions to train the students that even when they are under pressure, they should adopt the right path. And so that's a very sincere thinking upon how to design such curriculums, the extracurricular activities, to put these values in the heart. When I was in Karnataka at the VT University, their logo on the university logo, that is VT logo, it is written in Kannada, Pele Insan Bano. That is the logo of the university, although it's a technical university. So that balance is required. That balance of the technology and the beautiful human qualities, that balance is required, and let's go together. If any one is lacking, you cannot be fruitful for the humanity. So that is a very, very strategic planning for the institutes to how to create such extracurricular activities to imbibe these beautiful qualities among the students. Either you motivate the students by narrating the stories with the persons who establish truth and justice. At the same time, they bring the technological development, who both at the statementhood and both at the ideology. So you have to motivate the stories of such persons who establish the states, who establish the kingdoms based on the truthfulness. So if you adopt or use such stories with the students, motivating stories like that, where the people with truthfulness will be successful also in the life. Otherwise, it is very difficult to continue with the goodness the people have. So I feel this is the question which is still lacking even with the United Nations, how to sustain the beautiful qualities in the human till you die. So that has to be still worked out. And the world is looking the solution for this problem. So I'm thankful to the organization and for the beautiful and miraculous efforts. Why I call it miraculous efforts, because it is totally a ladies' work. And it's a major contribution which is made by ladies. They have made a tremendous efforts to make this beautiful conference successful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your experience work. Now I call upon Mrs. Pulvita Kaur, student of Engineering College.
Good evening, one and all. It was such a wonderful experience of 2 years, 2 days, starting from yesterday in the morning, 9:30, we all reported, right from the beginning, had the reception from registration to entering the hall, which was so well organized, the flow of the speakers, paper presenters, their research work. It was such a wonderful experience. Each and every person who presented a paper, whether it was a teacher or a student, there was so much research involved. And there was so much of learning on the same platform. It's very difficult to get this diverse topics being discussed with practical examples. It was such a knowledgeable path for us to understand and also to understand what is the further scope we can improve on all these things. The flow of the program was so beautifully handled, though there were so many technical and our electrical department glitches. But still, I think Anjuman Aslam College faculty members and everyone organized it without any, pauses or any issues. The program went on for online as well as offline. Every participant got time enough to present and to represent whatever they wanted to actually show and analyze their research work. Their food, what was served, the flow of snacks which is going on in between the tea, what is being served, they have taken care that none of us will ever get, little tired, though it is the summertime. The flow and the paper presentation, there was absolutely in a proper, smooth manner. So flawless effort by Anjuman Islam and all the three other colleges who were involved in organizing such a beautiful program. It is one of my first offline international conferences which I'm attending. So far, I think most of them I've been doing it online, but offline experience was wonderful. Thank you once again for organizing, and I would like to even thank all the paper presenters. Your research work should go on. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Actually, it was well time managed national conference. And you know what? Two people who are arguing for time management. We want 2 minutes more. Who are they? Asma ma'am and Renu ma'am. Both are from host colleges. So I think everything was on time, and that is the credit of the host team. So moving forward, it's time for a valedictory address to share her wisdom and to guide us forward. I would now like to invite our chief guest, Professor Ashwini Karvandar ma'am, Professor and Head, Department of Education, University of Mumbai. She is the member of Western Region Committee NCT. Madam holds a PhD in Education from the University of Mumbai, along with MSc in Mathematics, ML, and PG Diploma in Management of Education. With over 25 years of teaching experience, she has been associated with postgraduate and research programs since 2005. She has supervised 10 PhD scholars and is currently guiding 8 students, along with mentoring several MPhil and ML dissertations in areas such as constructivism, metacognition, blended learning, and mathematics and writing. Her academic contribution includes 3 books and over 60 research publications. Dr. Karvandar is actively involved in curriculum development, research, and academic administration. She currently serves as chairperson, Board of Studies of Education, and is a member of key academic bodies at the University of Mumbai. And Madam, at this moment, along with all participants, your many students, including me, we are waiting for your wise words. So over to you, Madam.
Good evening, all. Respected principal of Anjuman Islam, Dr. Asma, respected principal Dr. Savita Sabir, principal from MCT College of Education, Nairobi, respected ma'am Dr. Swarna Dutta, the principal of HVDA College, dear participants, also Dr. Mr. Kavre sir, and all the management members who are present over here, and all the dear participants, some of my former students, some of them are actively participating online, offline. I welcome, I wish all of you good evening, and also thankful for inviting me as a chairperson for this collaborative work, I would say. For the first time, I can see here whatever the goal, whatever the theme is chosen, that is sustainable development goal, quality education, quality. And really, quality is not one person's monopoly, or one person can achieve the quality. It requires teamwork, it requires collaboration. And I can see the themes that were chosen for this particular conference are well going with this all, whatever the sustainable development goals are discussed. So validity session is not the session for the aim, but it's a beginning. It's like a driving license in your hand, and now it's your responsibility to work more hard and achieve the quality. When this is a concept of in the era of collaboration and working in participation, cooperation is very well, it's not only at the local level, but it's happening at the global level. So all of us are now geared work for such kind of session, such kind of work that we have. Being in the field of education, our responsibility goes beyond that because we are the nation builders. Some of your paper presenters, I would like to congratulate all of them for coming with the diverse topics, presenting here in this conference, and also contributing in the field of education. And I would also request all the participants to continue to work like that and contribute more concretely in the field of education. So validate the session, as I said, it's not the end to it. So let us start with I would like to compare, I would like to say that, please go to the slide. So it is the SDG, all of us, we have talked about the ensure equitable, quality and quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Now my next question to all of you, what are the 5 pillars of National Education Policy 2020? What are the 5 things? Any one of you? NEP 2020. It is National Education Policy and not New Education Policy. Yes, please tell me 5 pillars. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Very good. It's okay. It's okay. Anybody would like to add in it? Okay. So these are the promoting the dimensions in the National Education Policy. The 5 pillars are, first is accessibility. Okay. Second is, what is accessible? The education should be accessible. The education should be accessible to each and every child of this nation. And that's why the inclusive education. Inclusive education again should not be confined just to special children. It is confined to all the sections of the society. So first is accessibility. Second is equity. Okay. Equity and equality, I understand you know the difference. Equity means just and fair distribution of the resources. तो जिसको जितना चाहिए उतना ही मिलना चाहिए, जिसके पास ऑलरेडी है उनको शायद कम मिला तो भी चलेगा, लेकिन जिसके पास बिल्कुल भी नहीं है उसको ज्यादा मिलना चाहिए. That is a just and fair way of distributing the resources. Third is quality in education. Okay. Fourth is affordability. This education should be affordable to again one and all, irrespective of whether you are from elite class or you are from the deprived sections of the society. It should be affordable. And accountability. Accountability, that means accountability of each and everyone, students, teachers, and the stakeholders, all are accountable. The stakeholders, that means who are directly or indirectly involved in this entire process, all are accountable for. And why this is? This is all for the vision that is already put forth by our Honorable Prime Minister, that is Vikasit Bharat at 2047. Now, let us come to the third pillar of education, which is talking about the quality in education. Now, quality is a relative term, and quality in education is not just the thing that we are, it is again achieved in one day. So, what I would like to connect to this SDG and NEP. So, SDG is achieved through NEP. So, NEP is our tool to achieve the SDG. SDG is a global level concept. NEP is a national level concept, and we will be working from local, national, and the global level. So it is again everybody's collective efforts which will be involved. So empowering teachers is one of the concern of this NEP 2020. Empowering not just by finance, I would say, empowering with all the aspects like your autonomy, maybe you are good in technology, you may be good in your career growth, and NCT has laid down some standards, NPST, that is National Professional Standards for Teachers. I would request all the students, all the teachers, or budding teachers, I would say, please go through this document. If possible, register those who are in service teachers, register through this NPST. There are levels, okay? The beginners, the advanced and the experts. How to achieve these levels, that is also given, and the standards for the teachers, the guidelines given for the teachers to improve. Why to improve? Again, to improve the quality in education. Because again, we have the most maximum responsibility in doing all these, achieving these goals and making the education more comfortable for the students. So again, NEP 2020, let us go to the next. So what NEP 2020 already, Dr. Asma has spoken about it. It is trying to achieve the goals of, again, SDG 4. Okay, how? Through the competency-based assessment, holistic learning, experiential learning, she's already said, then critical thinking, skill development, and multidisciplinary education. So these are the ways to achieve this quality in education, and this is the way to assess the students. So again, high quality, so quality is the third pillar of NEP 2020 focuses on providing high quality education through all these components, all these dimensions of NEP 2020. So it is an inclusive education, it is your the critical thinking, the experiential learning, all these are the things that are involved to enhance again improve the students. Again, discouraging the rote learning. Somebody has presented the paper. So it is all to discourage rote learning, and experiential learning and such kind of activities definitely will help to do so. So for NEP 2020 as well as SDG 4, which is talking about the quality, are emphasizing that education should move beyond rote learning. So how it is beyond rote learning to meaningful learning, to creativity and innovation, to problem-solving techniques, values and ethics, and lifelong learning. So our goal is making the students as a lifelong learner. Okay, not just the degree achievements. Lifelong learner, that means remaining the student mode or in the role of student forever, whatever comes to in front of you, please accept it. Become like a sponge, and please be a lifelong learner. Our generation are little older, maybe Gen Y, X, Y. Okay, we are the Gen X, Gen Y kind of students or the members, but you are going to deal with the Gen Alpha. Somebody said already, Gen Alpha, who are born in the era of digital technology. So to make them to curtail their screen time and all these things are our responsibilities. So kindly look into matter that how you will discourage rote learning, how will you provide the meaningful learning, and how will you make the lifelong learners. So this is already discussed how NEP and connection to SDG. Maybe experiential learning improves meaningful learning outcomes. Critical and creative thinking develops 21st century skills. Future empowerment enhances quality teaching. Multidisciplinary education, which is one of the features of NEP 2050, focuses or promotes holistic development. Competency-based assessment focuses on learning and not memorization. And these are few features I have just highlighted. And digital learning integration that which expands its quality learning process. So quality in the education in Indian context, it talks about the Sa Vidyaya Vimukhtaya. That means the education that liberates. Know what? Liberation from what? Liberation from inequality, liberation from ignorance, and the liberation from the limitations. So this is the roots. We should not forget whatever is given by our ancestors and what did they mean of by the quality in education. Character development is one of the things. Morals, ethics are supplementing to these character development. Unethically behavior in unethical ways or immoral ways is never ever encouraged in this in Indian context. Or I would say every community is talking about it. Then Vidya Dadati Vinayam, okay, means knowledge gives humility and character. Then Nahi Jnane Sadrisham Pavitram Iha Vidyate. That means nothing is purifying than the knowledge. Knowledge is purifying, and purifying what? So education becomes meaningful when it transforms through thoughts and actions. And lastly, it will be Acharya Padam, Shishya Sote Dhaya, Buddha is Buddhi. Padam Swaprabhu Karibhi, Padam. That means each one has a contribution of 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Who are they contributing? So learning comes from teacher, its contribution is 25%, self-study 25%, peers 25%, and experience also 25%. So all should be provided, and that is all the concept of quality in education. We are talking the same thing in a different in a new era, but that all already it was discussed. But now we are again revising or reviewing whatever is given by our Indian context also through the Sanskrit Bhagavad. According to Acharya Vinoba Bhave, what do you mean by quality in education? See, we have three elements: Prakriti, Vikruti, and Sanskriti. Now, Prakriti is whatever the nature that our nature, स्वभाव. हर एक का अपना अपना स्वभाव होता है या हर एक की अपनी अपनी फिजिक होती है. जैसे भूख लगती है तो हम खाना खाते, दैट इज प्रकृति, दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली नॉर्मल. लेकिन भूख लगने के बावजूद भी आप खाना खाते रहते, दैट इज विकृति. ओके, फुल भरे पेट पे भी खाना खा रहे, दैट इज विकृति, दैट इज डिफॉर्मिटी. So Prakriti, natural tendencies are basic natural instincts and inherent qualities of a person. Represents all human nature, but Vikruti is distorted tendencies. Now खाना खाने के बाद भी हम लोग खाना खाते हैं, that is Vikruti. But as far as nature is concerned, negative or uncontrolled tendencies such as selfishness, violence, or greed, they are also Vikrutis. Okay, so when natural instincts are misdirected, the Vikruti comes up, or it comes up, and that dominates you, and you somewhere forget the Sanskrit. So the refinement of human behavior, Sanskrit is cultured and refinement. You should not be, again, Acharya Vinoba Bhave says that it's not only you should be informed, but you should be cultured. And many times we travel by train, we see the literate illiterate citizens of India. They are throwing the garbages outside inside the train, outside the wherever they feel like throwing it. So that is, they are just, I would say, they are just informed. But cultured means educatedness. That is one of the levels of educatedness. Calling as per the Barbara Mukhopadhyay, if you read that book on quality in education, it says that there are levels of educatedness, and first is informed, second is culture, third is emancipation, and fourth is self-actualization. Very few are there. It's like a triangle, and very few are at the apex of that self-actualized level. But even if we achieve second level, that is cultured level, having the Sanskriti, refinement of human behavior through values, ethics, discipline, compassion, and wisdom, that is a part of, that is what we need to inculcate and we need to impart also. It is the most important, this is our responsibility to pass these values to the next generation. So that is the Sanskriti. Not much more than. So again, according to Acharya Vinoba, true education should be define character, develop moral values, transform behavior, promote social harmony, and build responsible citizens. And this aligns strongly within SDG 4. Am I right? Which, when we are talking about equitable society, equality, and inclusiveness. All this is involved in SDG as well as our NEP 2020 also talks the same. So this ends with my what I want to say. So NEP 2020 has set India's roadmap for the SDG. Oh, okay. So please be connected with NEP 2020. Its features. Read NEP 2020. All chapters. Please read them thoroughly, and see to that our Prakriti will achieve Sanskriti by discouraging our Vikruti. It should not be our top priority. So be that motive in your life and be lifelong learner. And that's what I wanted to say as far as the SDG quality education is concerned. Once again, I would like to thank to the organizers for inviting me, and thank you for patiently listening to this last session, because this last session is always, all are excited and they want to discuss. So I just try to make it a very short speech, but see to that. I hope you take away from something from this speech, and that's all. Thank you so much. So much, ma'am. Madam has connected NEP 2020, SDG 4, and one more thing, I guess. So very beautifully she has connected. You know what? What is Prakriti? As I have learned, Prakriti means when you are hungry, then you are eating. That is Prakriti. When you are not hungry and then also you are eating, that is Vikruti. But you are hungry and someone is there in front of you who wants food, and then you are sharing your food. That is Sanskriti. So I remember since 2006, I'm Madam students, and I do remember every time Madam asks us, do you understand? Do you understand what I teach? And today also she makes a lesson, she makes a teaching. So understanding that her each type of student can understand. I'm from vernacular background, so it was difficult for us to understand different concepts for management. But Madam makes sure that everything will be understandable. So thank you so much, Ashwini Madam. For us, she's our Ashwini Madam. So now I call upon Mr. Iqbal Kaure sir, Honorable CC Member, Anjuman Islam. Sir, we are waiting for your inspiring words. Yes, sir.
Thank you. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मेरे ख्याल से बहुत कुछ बातें करनी थी, बोलनी थी, लेकिन अभी अश्विनी मैडम ने
विनोबा भावे के जो 5 कोट किए वो हमारे टोटल एजुकेशन के ताल्लुक से जो हमको अपने आप में उन चीज़ों पर अमल करना है, वो 5 चीज़ें थी। अगर हम उस पर अमल करते हैं कि सारा के सारा हमारा जो जो हम चाहते हैं, ऑफलाइन या ऑनलाइन या जैसे भी हो, वो सब हमको वो मिल जाता है, अगर वो 5 कोट जो आखिर में आपने बताए। अब मैं अभी, जैसे अभी मैडम ने भी कहा कि कोई भी प्रोग्राम का जो इख्तितामी यानी जो एंड होता है, वो थोड़ा सा शुरू में जरा इंटरेस्टेड होता है कि उसमें सबके सत्कार सम्मान होते हैं, और आखिर में जो भाषण राशन शुरू होते हैं तो लोग अपनी अपनी घड़ी देखना शुरू करते हैं। मैं जाना भी 2 दिन से मुसलसल मेहनत कर रहे हैं, तो मैं जरा बात करूंगा तो कुछ शेर शायरी भी होगी, थोड़ा सा माहौल भी चेंज होगा। सभी जानते हैं, इसमें से कुछ लोग जानते हैं मैं क्या और मेरी औकात क्या। मेरे सामने जो उस्तादों के उस्ताद बैठे हुए हैं, और मेरी मजाल क्या कि इनके सामने मैं कोई ऐसी चीजें जो पेश करूं जो मुझे उनसे जरा, यानी कहते हैं ना बाज़ औक़ात कि इस भीड़ में जो शख्स सबसे बड़ा है, भीड़ यानी अपन काय म्हणतो त्याला, हाँ, क्राउड। इस भीड़ में जो शख्स सबसे बड़ा है, वो शख्स किसी और के कंधे पे खड़ा है। समझाओ तो ताली बजा सकते हैं, इसको टैक्स नहीं लगता। तो मैं यहाँ भाई, जो मुझे आप लोगों ने इतना बड़ा बनाया, आप लोगों की जो आप टीचरों के उस्ताद हैं, उस्तादों के उस्ताद हैं, और जो भी आने वाली नस्ल जो टीचर है, तो मेरी कोई औकात नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी आपकी मोहब्बत और अल्लाह ताला जिसको देना चाहता है इज्जत, वो देता ही है। सबसे पहले मैं शुक्र अदा करता हूँ उसका, जिसके जो यहाँ की फिक्र वहाँ का ख्याल रखा है, यहाँ की फिक्र वहाँ का ख्याल रखा है, दोनों लोग का, और अकेले दोनों जहां को संभाल रखा है। मैं उसको धन्यवाद देता हूँ। दूसरा धन्यवाद देता हूँ मेरे वो चारों पार्टनर्स जिन्होंने मिलकर आसमान में उनके साथ आज का ये खूबसूरत 2 दिन का कॉन्फ्रेंस मुनक़िद की है। उन लोगों को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ। अब मेरे लिए तो डॉक्टर आसमा मैम के ताल्लुक से एक शेर कहूंगा, खुलूस और प्यार की समंदर हो। जरा सा मुख्तलिफ शेर है। खुलूस और प्यार की समंदर है इसीलिए तो तुम मुकद्दर के सिकंदर हो। आज बुरहान सर आए नहीं, ऑनलाइन है सर, जरा आपके लिए एक शेर अर्ज करता हूँ, जरा गौर से सुनिएगा। सर सुन रहे? हाँ सर, बहरहाल जरूर सुनते हो। रोशनी बांटता फिरता है सूरज की तरह, मैं बुरहान सर की बात करता हूँ। रोशनी बांटता फिरता है सूरज की तरह, डूबता है तो सितारों को जन्म देता है। इनका काम जो है, पिछले मैं उनके साथ में 16-17 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ, अंजुमन इस्लाम के इस कारवां में शामिल हूँ, और वो हमारे रहबर हैं, हमारे नेता हैं, या हमारे चेयरमैन है। वो एक ही लफ्ज है, अलग अलग भाषा में उसको अलग अलग उच्चारण है। अब मेरे लिए यहाँ जो सामने मेरे जो बैठे हैं, तो सबसे पहले मैं अश्विनी मैडम के लिए एक शेर अर्ज करना चाहता हूँ। रुके तो चांद चले तो हवा भी जैसी है, रुके तो चांद चले तो हवा जैसे हैं, ये मूर्ति धूप में भी छांव जैसी। उसके बाद तमाम लोगों सबके मिलकर एक शेयर करने, किताब बोलने की कोशिश करता हूँ, और मैडम आप भी उसमें शामिल है। आज आसमान तालीम के शम्स और कमर, शम्स यानी सूर्य, कमर यानी चांद, आज आसमान तालीम यानी शिक्षण के आसमान पर शम्सो कमर अंजुमन के सरजमीन पर उतर आए हैं। क्यों ना हो पुरनूर होगी ये महफिल, सितारे जमीन पे उतर आए हैं। तो आप सब लोग जो मेरे सामने बैठे हैं, उनको अलग अलग शेर बोलने के बजाय आपको जमीन का सितारा बना दिया, तो
तो मेरे स्कूल उसको आप कबूल कर लीजिए। मैं मेरे सामने बहुत सारे वो लोग बैठे हैं जिनके लिए अलग अलग शेयर कहना मेरे लिए जरा मुश्किल है, इसलिए कि मैं पूरी तरह से उनको जानता नहीं हूँ। आप जानते हैं कि घर घर का दरवाजा घर के मुकाबले में छोटा होता है, बराबर है ना? और दरवाजे के मुकाबले में ताला छोटा होता है, और ताले के मुकाबले में चाबी छोटी, मगर ये चाबी जो है पूरे घर को खोलती है। यानी समाज में जो डिफरेंट लोग हैं, हमारे नेता हैं वो वगैरह वगैरह, इन सब के दिलो दिमाग को खोलने का काम अगर कोई करता है तो वो टीचर है। टीचर आइडियल भी होते हैं, अभी जमाना थोड़ा सा बदल गया है। और अश्विनी मैडम, थोड़ा सा आपसे माफी चाहूंगा क्योंकि आप सरकार को मतलब यूनिवर्सिटी को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, और मैं जब बोलूंगा तो अभी 2 दिन से जो कुछ चल रहा था वो एक प्लान के तहत सरकार जो के मुख्तलिफ प्रोग्राम हैं एजुकेशन के ताल्लुक से, पॉलिसीज हैं, उनको डिफरेंट सेक्शन में लागू करने का काम यूनिवर्सिटी करती है। अब यहाँ पर मेरा ये मानना ऐसा है कि अगर क्वालिटी की बात करते हैं तो क्वालिटी लेने और देने के टाइम हम दोनों को, एक मक्का खरीदने जाते हैं तो हम ठोक के बजाते हैं, देखते हैं, वो देखते हैं कि अगर उसकी आवाज ठन ठन आई तो ये बराबर पकाया हुआ है, ये अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस देगा। तो आप जो देते हैं उसमें अगर क्वालिटी होगी तो वो खुद ब खुद वो क्वालिटी बोलेगी। और हमारे पास जो प्राइवेट, एक छोटी सी बात मैं करना चाहता हूं कि आप देखते हैं अभी लाखों सरकारी स्कूलें बंद हो गई, वो इधर मराठी मीडियम हो, उर्दू मीडियम हो, इंग्लिश मीडियम की बात अलग है क्योंकि सबको एक भूत सवार है। तो वो लाखों स्कूलें जो बंद हुई हैं, वो लोग, वो बच्चे, लाखों बच्चे, हजारों गांव के लाखों बच्चे, हजारों शहरों के लाखों वो बच्चे जो वो सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, जिनके पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तो बहुत अच्छा था, जो हमारे प्राइवेट अदारों के पास नहीं है। और वो नहीं क्यों है वो भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा। तो वो जो स्कूलें बंद हुई हैं, वो बच्चे जो अभी पढ़ नहीं सकते या उनके पेरेंट्स, यानी कोई भी स्कूल 7वीं तक, जो जिला परिषद की स्कूल जो गांव में होती हैं बहुत ज्यादा तो 7वीं तक होती है, तो 7वीं तक जो बच्चे पढ़ना चाहते थे या पढ़ने के लिए तैयार थे, उनके माँ बाप के औकात थे कि उनको पढ़ा सके, वो अगर पढ़ने से वंचित हो जाए, अगर वो शहर में आने की बात करते, सबके औकात नहीं है। आज किसान आत्महत्या कर रहा है, विश्व गुरु की हम बात करते हैं, अगर मेरा मुल्क या हम विश्व गुरु हैं तो मुझे कोई जवाब दे कि बहुत सारे लोग, लाखों लोग आज भी फुटपाथ पर क्यों सोते हैं? अगर मेरा मुल्क या हमारे लोग विश्व गुरु में हम अपने आप को मानते हैं या बोलते हैं, तो लाखों करोड़ों लोग हिंदुस्तान में आज भी फुटपाथ पर सोते हैं। तो कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जो स्क्रीन में दिखाने के लिए हम बहुत नए टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, और जो पुराने लोग या हमारी जो गलतियां हैं या हमारी जो गंदगी है, ये लोग देखेंगे, इसलिए रास्तों को हम पर्दों से ढांकते हैं। तो ये डबल नीति जो है, उसमें क्वालिटी कहीं आ नहीं सकती। यानी सिर्फ आप अपनी क्वालिटी बताने की बात करते हैं, जो आपके कर्मों की वजह से या आपके जिम्मेदारी को न निभाने की वजह से जो ये हालात पैदा हुए हैं, उसके जिम्मेदार कौन है? तो मैं ये चाहता हूं कि ये सरकारी स्कीमें को अगर हम ध्यान में रखें तो ठीक है। मुझे तो आज बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आज, इसके पहले भी हमें आसमान में हमने बहुत से कॉन्फ्रेंसेस किए हैं, आज ये 4-5 लोगों ने एक साथ में मिलकर जो कॉन्फ्रेंस की, जिसका बहुत ही अच्छा इम्पैक्ट भी है ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन, और वो हमारे अलग अलग कॉलेज के जो बच्चे यहाँ बैठे हैं, जो आने वाले कल के मुस्तकबिल के मामार हैं, वो आपके 2 दिन के इस एक्सपर्ट्स लोगों की ट्रेनिंग या एक्सपर्ट लोगों के विचारों का फायदा उठाकर उसका, क्योंकि वो भी मैं जब आया, जब मैडम का वो चल रहा था पेपर प्रेजेंट के ताल्लुक से, वो अपना रिव्यू दे रही थी, तो मैंने उसमें जो देख सुना, बहुत से हमारे फर्स्ट ईयर के स्टूडेंट के भी थे, कुछ टीचरों को भी थे, कुछ लोगों को जो रिव्यू पेपर प्रेजेंट का के ताल्लुक से वो जो उन्होंने दिया था, वो मैंने सुना, तो एक दिल में एक जज्बा सा पैदा हो गया कि नहीं, अभी हम जितना इसको अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं हमारे इस डिपार्टमेंट को, वैसा नहीं है। वो अलग बात है कि लोग बोलते नहीं है या अपनी बात आगे नहीं करते। तो किसी ने बड़ा अच्छा शेर कहा है कि बात हो जाने से उठते नहीं इतने तूफान, बात हो जाने से उठते नहीं इतने तूफान, लोग जब कुछ नहीं कहते तो डर लगता है। तो जब आप बात करेंगे, डायलॉग करेंगे, अपनी बात, अपने जज्बात, अपने ख्यालात के लोगों के सामने पेश करेंगे, तो आप कुछ सीखेंगे, दूसरा कोई आपसे सीखेगा, और ये दोनों के विचार मिलकर क्वालिटी बनेगी। और क्वालिटी ये कोई ऐसा वो नहीं है, क्योंकि आप जानते हैं, मैं ये मानता भी हूँ, आज मेरी 78 ईयर्स की एज हुई, मैं ये मानता हूँ कि तालीम के साथ तरबियत जो है, संस्कार जो है, वो बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं। एक छोटा सा वाक्य आपको सुनाता हूँ। हर घर में ऐसा होता है, बेटा कॉलेज से आता है और बाप को सलाम दुआ करने के बाद बेटा बाथरूम जाता है, बहुत थका हुआ है बेचारा, वापस निकलते टाइम वो दरवाजा बराबर बाथरूम का बंद नहीं करता या लाइट बंद नहीं करता, तो बाप बोलता है बेटा दरवाजा बंद करो, लाइट बंद करो। फिर उसके बाद आगे चलता है तो उसको कुर्सी थी बगैर तरतीब के टेबल के पास रखी हुई थी, उसको ठोकर लग जाती है, तो बाप उसको बोलता है बेटा पहले देखा करो और कुर्सी ठीक से लगाया करो। यानी बेटा जो है वो इतना बाप की नसीहतों से इतना परेशान था कि वो अपने बाप से चिढ़ने लगा, और इसी तरह ये जिंदगी इसकी गुजर गई। और फिर एक दिन नौकरी के लिए वो आया, वैकेंसीज आती है, इंटरव्यू के लिए कॉल आता है, वो चला जाता है। अब चला जाने के बाद वो देखता है इधर को है तो कोई नहीं, लेकिन पंखा चल रहा है, वो देखता है पंखे का बटन किधर है, जाके पंखा बंद कर देता है। उसके बाद एक कुर्सी पर बैठने की कोशिश करता है, तो दूसरी कुर्सी जो बेतरतीब नजर आती है इधर उधर, वो कुर्सी ठीक से लगा लेता है। आगे जाता है, जो डस्टबिन जो है उसमें से कुछ कचरा बाहर ऊपर नीचे गिरा हुआ रहता है, वो कचरा डस्टबिन में डालता है, उसको बंद करता है और साइड में रखता है, तो वो बैठता है। लोग आते हैं, बच्चे आते हैं, उनके इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, आते हैं और चले जाते हैं। ये जब जाता है अंदर, तो इंटरव्यू लेने वाले उसको नाम पूछते हैं और कहते हैं कि नाम जो बता देता है वो, और फिर वो सब बोलते हैं कि ठीक है आप जाइए, आपको हम कॉल करेंगे। तो वो परेशान होता है कि सर मेरा तो आपने इंटरव्यू नहीं लिया, क्या मेरा नहीं बोले वो, आप जाइए, हम आपको कॉल करेंगे। पता ही चला दूसरे दिन उसको कॉल आता है कि आप सेलेक्ट हो गए हैं। जब उनमें से किसी एक इंटरव्यू लेने को वाले को पूछा कि ये मेरी समझ में नहीं आया, बोले हम आपको ऑब्जर्व कर रहे थे, जब आए तो वो आपने बगैर जरूरत के पंखा चल रहा था वो आपने बंद किया, कुर्सी टीढ़ी थी आपको सीधा किया। तो ये उसके बाप ने जो उसको संस्कार दिए थे, जिसको वो मुसीबत समझता था, जिसको वो हिट करता था, तब उसको मालूम पड़ेगा नहीं तालीम के साथ संस्कार कितने जरूरी है। अगर संस्कार आ गए आपके साथ तालीम के, तो खुद ब खुद क्वालिटी आएगी। क्वालिटी कोई ऐसा मेजरमेंट नहीं है, जो चीज को मैं पसंद करता हूँ या जिस क्वालिटी की वजह से कोई चीज मैं खरीदता हूँ, वो जरूरी नहीं कि आपको वो चीज पसंद आए और उसकी वजह से आप खरीदें। और ड्यूरेबिलिटी या कुछ चीजें वो अलग बात है। तो ये मेरा कहने का अंत में यही है कि तालीम में अगर क्वालिटी अगर चाहिए, तो साथ में संस्कार या तरबियत जिसको बोलते हैं, वो बहुत जरूरी है। ये मेरी बातें जो है वो ऑफलाइन या ऑनलाइन के लिए ऐसी नहीं है, लेकिन टेक्निकली एक सोशल वर्कर होने के नाते या अंजुमन इस्लाम का मेंबर होने के नाते, ये जो कुछ हम सीखते हैं आप लोगों से, हम देखते हैं। अंजुमन इस्लाम इतना बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूशन है, आप जानते होंगे, 150 साल पुराना उसका इतिहास है यार। उसमें जो लोग आए और चले गए और जिन्होंने दुनिया बनाई और हिंदुस्तान का नाम रोशन किया, अंजुमन का नाम रोशन किया, उस संस्था से जुड़ना आज की तारीख में मेरे लिए बहुत अहम है और हम जिंदगी भर सीखते रहेंगे। आज हमारे हमारे जाने का वक्त आ गया है, लेकिन फिर भी हम ये समझते हैं कि ये जो वक्त हमने गुजारा है आप लोगों के साथ, वो वक्त ऐसा है कि जिसको मैं एक बात करना चाहता हूँ जाते जाते, अक्सर ऐसा होता है, एक जनरल बात करता हूँ कि खबर सुनी है चमन में खिजा के आने की। आप थोड़ा समझ सकते हो? खबर सुनी है खिजा के चमन में खिजा के आने की, उठो के फिक्र करो आशियां बचाने की, रहोगे अब भी गाफिल तो ऐ चमन वालो, खबर न अपनी मिलेगी न आशियाने की। ये मैसेज तो आपने सुना होगा, समझेंगे आप, मगर मायूस नहीं है, मायूस होना भी नहीं चाहिए, मायूस होना कुफ्र है। इसलिए आखिर में अपनी बात ये करता हूं कि शजर की शाख से ताजा गुलाब आएगा, पौधा जो है ना, शजर की शाख से ताजा गुलाब आएगा, दिलों पे दिलों को खींचे ऐसा शबाब आएगा, हमारी कौम हो जाएगी मुत्तहद जिस दिन। हमारी कौम से मतलब हमारे भारतीय लोगों की बात करता हूं मैं, कौम यानी किसी जात और धर्म की बात नहीं। हमारी कौम हो जाएगी जिस दिन मुत्तहद, यकीन मानो उसी दिन इनकलाब आएगा। और इनकलाब बंगाल से आना शुरू होता है, हमेशा हिस्ट्री रही है। इंशाल्लाह इनकलाब आएगा, हमारे आपकी जो परेशानियां हैं, क्योंकि ये जो भी मुल्क के हालात अगर स्टेबल होंगे तो मुल्क की बागडोर आपके हाथ में है। अगर स्टेबल नहीं होंगे तो किसी के हाथ में नहीं। वो घोड़ा जो है या जो आपकी सवारी जो बेतरतीब इधर से उधर भागेगी। आखिर में अपनी बात क्या कहता हूँ, वो हमारी जो मैडम है, क्या नाम आपका, कुलजिंदर कौल, हाँ, इन्होंने जो ऑब्जर्वेशन दिया, मैं जरा भूल गया था कि आप सामने नहीं थी, और मेरी तकरीर कुछ और थी। इधर आने के बाद ये तमाम मैडमों का सुनने के बाद वो मेरी तकरीर कागजों में लपेटी रह गई और वो मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन मेरे सामने आया। फिर आखिर में मैं यही कहूँगा, आसमा मैम आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद। आपका ये जज्बा है जो हमारे इस अंजुमन इंस्टीट्यूशन को, हमारे कॉलेज को, और साथी कॉलेज जो हमारे आजू बाजू पड़े एरोली तक। अब ये एरोल की बात है तो एक बात जरा सा मुझे तकलीफ हुई है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि दर्द अगर बताएंगे तो दवा मिलेगी, ऐसा लगता है। तो मैंने न्यूज मैगजीन देखा ना, आपके न्यूज लेटर, वो मेरा ख्याल है किनका है, आपके कॉलेज का है ना। उसमें आपके जो कुछ एक्टिविटीज दी हैं 13-14, जो आपने उनके देश के हिसाब से मनाई है आपके सामने, यहाँ नहीं हो जो करिकुलम। हाँ, मैं बताना इसलिए जरूरी समझता कि हम साथ चलना है। तो ये को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में आपने तकरीबन 2, 2, 4, 2, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 एक्टिविटीज आपने को की। इसमें सारा सेलिब्रेशन किया आप, यानी दही हंडी से लेके विलास राव तो खैर वो मालिक है इसलिए आपने किया, टीचर्स डे और ये सारे डेज बनाए। लेकिन शायद वो ऐसा हो कि ड्रेस देख के लोगों को पहचानते हैं, ऐसा कुछ किसी के जहन में हो। हमारे पास हमारे मुसलमानों के 2 ईदें बहुत मशहूर, दुनिया में 2 ही त्यौहार होते हैं मुसलमानों के, हिंदुस्तान में 50 होंगे। इसमें उन 17-18 करोड़ एक्टिविटीज में अगर कहीं ना कहीं ईद मिलन का भी छोटा सा प्रोग्राम हमारे यहाँ रखा होता, हम इसको आंसर करते। नहीं, वो क्या है इसमें रिपोर्ट नहीं। तो जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा, ये और ये सब कुछ आएगा। तो अगर इसका ख्याल रहे तो अच्छा है। आपको मालूम है कि मैं पॉलिटिकली जो पोजीशन मुझे मिली है, यहाँ का सभापति भी बना हूँ या नगर सेवक भी बना, तो मेरे जो आइडियल थे, मेरे गुरु जो थे, वो विलासराव देशमुख थे। मैं इलेक्शन में खड़ा नहीं होना चाहता था। मेरे वो वही तो होना चाहिए। हाँ, नहीं अच्छा है, मैं उसमें कोई ये नहीं कर रहा हूँ। आपका इंस्टीट्यूशन हमारे मेरा इंस्टीट्यूशन है, लेकिन अगर ये गलती हुई है, ये गलती जो है ना, गलती हुई तो बाद औकात ऐसा होता ना, अगर फिल्म चलाई और रील उल्टी हो गई तो लोगों को फट से ध्यान में आता है उल्टी की उल्टी हुई, तो फिर वो भूलता है ना फिल्म को भी। ये ऐसा हो गया। इंशाल्लाह फिर कभी ऐसा कोशिश कीजिएगा, दोनों में से एक रमजान ईद की ही हो तो एक सेलिब्रेशन करना है तो हमारे यहाँ कर लीजिए, हमारे सब लोग आपको मदद करेंगे। तो वो कहीं ना कहीं आपकी करिकुलम एक्टिविटीज में आना चाहिए और मैसेज जाना चाहिए कि रखो बुलंद नजर को कि यही है राज हयात। ये प्यारा सा शेर है मेरा, अक्सर खत्म करते टाइम बोलता हूँ, रखो बुलंद नजर को कि यही है राज हयात, रहो जमीन पे मगर आसमान की बात करो। खुदा हाफिज, जय हिंद।
थैंक यू सो मच सर। कल से इधर का जो क्लाइमेट था वो पूरा स्पीचेस प्रेजेंटेशन से भरा हुआ था, तो सर आपके शब्द आज जैसे हवा के झोंके जैसे थे। ब्रीज हमारे लिए मराठी में बहुत वर्ड, अच्छा वर्ड हम लोग यूज करते हैं, झुड़ुक, इतना ब्यूटीफुल वर्ड हम लोग यूज करते हैं, सो इट वाज लाइक झुड़ुक। सो लेट्स प्रोसीड एंड वी हैव मिस्टर बुरहान हैरिस सर ऑनलाइन मोड. And I request Mr. Burhan Harris, sir, Honorable Executive Chairman, Board in Navi Mumbai, to deliver his presidential address. Sir, over to you. Harris. Harris, sir, over to you. Sir, you are on mute. Harris.
He is not able to listen.
Harris, sir. Harris, sir, we are waiting for your words. Yes. Sir,
Hello.
over to you.
Can you hear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have got a bad throat for the last few weeks. Even microphones don't help me sometimes, But seeing the kind of speeches and the kind of people, their resumes, their qualifications, their experiences, I was forced by my mind to speak. I'll do my best. And Iqbal bhai has spoken, mashallah, so much. I'll try to make up by being short, very, very, very short. Since he has started with, see, there are, education is like oxygen to the world's existence. And it has grown the technology to spreading the knowledge has become right from the Gurukul days to today, where we are having a Zoom meeting, where you can see people from other part of the world, talk to them like a telephone, or easier than them. Then there is RI coming. Education is the need oxygen of today's world. And we need to make every effort. Those who are doing these kind of activities, managing it, spreading it, they do a great service to humanity. It's not something which is you get a card that there will be a seminar or there will be a conference. And it starts, it happens, it ends. But It's a great service, and I congratulate, my compliment to the team of 6 people of Anjuman Islam B.Ed College and a cluster of them. So right from the thought of the topic of the conference and the kind of selection of uh, people, speakers, and a function like as good as this in which I joined. I have so much to say, but thinking that it's the end of the day, 3 days conference, it's the end of the day, we need to be restricted by the limit of time. You know, अब इकबाल भाई ने 2-3 शेर बोले, can I, if you permit? तुम समंदर की बात करते हो, लोग आंखों में डूब जाते हैं। करूंगा क्या जो मोहब्बत में हो गया नाकाम, मुझे तो और कोई काम आता ही नहीं। कभी कीजिए किस पर यकीन, यकीन कीजिए किस पर, यकीन में क्या रखा है, मुझे तो पता है मेरे आस्तीन में सांप है। So with this share and lot of compliments for being so responsible for responding to the call of this international conference, attending it, investing your time to spread knowledge to the world. As I again repeat myself, that knowledge is the oxygen of today's world. Survival of the world, if one has to go right way, the knowledge has to increase. The such functions, such conferences, etc., should there be as a means of spreading the knowledge and discoveries and inventions. Thank you. I think I'm scared. I'm afraid that I don't get detailed. Short होने का वादा किया था, short हो गया. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful words. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's carry with the spirit of this seminar. Let's SDG not remain on paper but live in our action. Let us pledge to make quality education a reality for every child everywhere. Now, I know we are running late, so it's time to vote of thanks, and I call upon Dr. Rekha Chagdai, Assistant Professor at SBBA College, to propose vote of thanks. And after that, we'll conclude with national anthem.
नमस्कार, आदाब, शुभ संध्या. सर्वांना माझा नमस्कार. लहरों से डर कर नौका पार नहीं होती, तो कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. आणि त्याच कोशिशेमधून जन्माला आलेलं आपलं हे इंटरनॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स, या 3 लोकांच्या सुपीक डोक्यातून निर्माण झालेली कॉन्फरन्स आज पूर्णत्वाच्या अंतिम चरणामध्ये येऊन पोहोचलेली आहे. आणि इस अंतिम चरण में मैं आप सभी को धन्यवाद देने के लिए इस मंच पर खड़ी हूँ. जहाँ इरादे मजबूत होते हैं वही नतीजे शानदार होते हैं. नतीजा हम देख रहे हैं सब जन. ये मंच नहीं है कहानी है, ये मंच नहीं है कहानी है, आप सभी की इसमें हिस्सेदारी है. What words of gratitude may be few, but the feelings behind them are infinite. Today we go in appreciation to every hand that made this moment possible. Respected dignitaries on the dais, honorable chief guest, distinguished principal, distinguished guest, respected faculty members, and my dear students. It's my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the memorable validity function of our international conference. When we reach the heights of success, we realize this journey was never of one alone. but of many hearts and hands working together. At the very outset, I express my heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Ashwini Karvande Madam, Department of Education, University of Mumbai. Inspiring presence and enlightening words have truly guided and motivate us. मैडम आपके लिए मैं इतना ही कहूँगी अश्विनी मैडम दिल से निकली दुआ है ये अश्विनी मैडम दिल से निकली दुआ है ये आपका साथ यूं ही बना रहे हर मुकाम पर मिलती रहे सफलता आपको हर मुकाम पर मिलती रहे सफलता आपको और हमारा ये रिश्ता हमेशा आबाद रहे हमेशा आबाद रहे Those who light the lamp of knowledge illuminate countless paths for others. I extend my sincere thanks to our respected principal, dear Savita madam, dear Harchandan madam, dear Asma madam. जब मिल बैठे तीन यार तो बन गए बाजीगर और अजय बाजीगर बन गए इनके सोच से जो आज हमें मिला है वो उसकी कुछ वैल्यू हम नहीं कर पाएंगे जब इम्प्लीमेंट होगा तब उस वैल्यूबल हो जाएगा मैडम तीनों मैडम के लिए मैडम whose visionary leadership and constant support transformed this conference into a grand success when vision meets a dedication excellence become invited ये दोस्ती टूटेगी नहीं I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the management our estimate प्रिंसिपल के बाद इसीलिए मैनेजमेंट का थैंक यू कर रही हूँ इस क्योंकि आपके सपोर्ट के बिना कुछ भी पॉसिबल नहीं है क्योंकि आप बिग बैकबोन है इन तीनों का और इसीलिए ये कार्यक्रम संपन्न हुआ इसमें एमसीटी कॉलेज अंजुमन कॉलेज एंड HBBR कॉलेज एमसीटी कॉलेज का उनका विरासत में ही राजकारण और एजुकेशन अमित देशमुख सर और उनका परिवार उनको भी मैं यह तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ हमारा कॉलेज साईनाथ एजुकेशन ट्रस्ट का बुलंद आवाज मोटिवेटर हमारा प्रेरणा स्रोत माननीय डॉक्टर हरिवंश सिंह सर यहाँ उपस्थित नहीं बट ब्लेसिंग के साथ उपस्थित है और जो इतनी उम्र में भी पूरा पैशन से बैठे हैं बुरान हरीश सर जिनके नाम है बुरान यानी कि प्रकाश हरीश यानी कि जिसका रिश्ता शिवा से जुड़ा हुआ है ऐसे बुरान हरीश सर इन तीनों मैनेजमेंट को मैं तहे दिल से धन्यवाद देती हूँ और इन तीनों का प्रतिनिधित्व बन के आए इकबाल सर अपने शेरो शायरी से पूरा माहौल खिल उठाया ऐसे इकबाल सर को भी मैं दिल से धन्यवाद देती हूँ और तीनों मैनेजमेंट को एक शायराना अंदाज में आपको बोलती हूँ अल्फाज नहीं सर मेरे पास अल्फाज नहीं है मेरे पास आपके बारे में मैं कुछ कहूँ आप लोगों के बारे में मैं कुछ कहूँ आपका यह आना यही इस कार्यक्रम के 4 चांद लगे के बराबर है इस कार्यक्रम में आपका उपस्थित रहना कार्यक्रम को चांद लगाए इस बराबर का है आपका प्यार स्नेह और अपनापन ऐसे ही बना रहे और इसी के साथ साथ आपके जो आपने जो सपोर्ट किया है बिहाइंड एवरी सक्सेसफुल इवेंट stand up foundation of strong support and guidance so thank you all three management and big support for मतलब speechless हूँ मैं My deep appreciation goes to all the collaborating institution and organizing committee members. Your tireless efforts and unity have created this wonderful platform. When efforts unite and hearts align, even the ordinary begin to shine. I would also like to thank all the distinguished speakers, session chair, researchers, and participants for enriching this conference with their valuable ideas and knowledge. Knowledge grows when it is shared, and ideas flourish when they are expressed. a very special thanks to our dear students. Your enthusiasm, discipline, and vibrant energy added life to this entire event. When the when the wings of youth find the right direction, the future begins to shine brighter. Finally, I extend my sincere thanks to everyone who contributed directly or indirectly to the success of this. स्टॉप करने के लिए तालियां हो रही है कि मुझे पता है क्योंकि ये सेशन ऐसा है, मैं पीछे से सुन के भी आई हूँ 2 मिनट में खत्म करना, बट नॉट पॉसिबल कि जो एम्पायर खड़ा हुआ है 1 महीने से, जो बच्चे हैं, टीचर है, फैकल्टी है, शब्दों से हम नहीं कर सकते, बट बच्चों ने तो पीछे के उनके लिए बोलने के बाद ताली बजे, वो दिल से स्टॉप करने के लिए नहीं थे. आई नो indirectly to the success of this conference, let me conclude with a few heartfelt lines. Together we dream, together we achieved. With unity and effort, success was received in this journey of learning so grateful and bright. You all made it meaningful with your presence and life. Words may be fall short at heart. Truly say thank you each one everywhere in every way. इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को सक्सेस करने में टेक्निकल कमेटी, स्टूडेंट, रिफ्रेशमेंट कमेटी, टीचर्स, प्रोसीडिंग कमेटी, दिखने को अगर जैसे कि पर्दे के ऊपर कुछ आता है तो उसके पीछे का कैमरामैन, एक्शन मैन, स्टंट मैन, कोई खाली हीरो का ही तारीफ होता है और हीरो के, लेकिन वो हीरो को उस ढांचे में डालने के लिए जो एफर्ट्स हमारे बच्चों ने, फैकल्टी ने लिए है, वो तो बहुत काबिले तारीफ है. बर्फ को किसी ने कहा, ये बर्फ तो इतना ठंडा क्यों है? बर्फ ने हंसकर जवाब दिया, मेरा अतीत भी पानी है और मेरा फ्यूचर भी पानी है, तो मैं गर्मी कहाँ रखूं? तो हमारे बच्चों ने जितना पेशेंस, जो रंगोली देख रहे हैं और जो भी सजावट देख रही है, अस्मा मैडम तो जैसे डंडा लेके बच्चों के पीछे खड़ी थी, बच्चे 6, 6:30 तक मुझे कल दिखाए, तो मतलब जो दिख रहा है वो सब क्रिएटिविटी टू स्टूडेंट, क्रेडिट गोज टू स्टूडेंट. और जो टेक्नीशियन सविता मैडम भले ही साइलेंट है, शांत बातें कृष्णा में, लेकिन उनके साइलेंट वर्ड में भी बूस्टर होता है. वो उनका टीम इधर दिख रही है. कल से मैंने एक भी टीम को ना सीखते हुए देखा है ना जाते. इधर थोड़ा माइक थोड़ा योगेश सर उधर से डाउन किया है और विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग उन्होंने अपना काम कंटिन्यू किया. मतलब ये एफर्ट्स है, इन तारीफ नहीं कर रही हूँ मैं किसी की, और हर किसी को, चाहे बच्चा हो या चौकूड़ा, दिल तो बच्चा होता है और तारीफ सबको अच्छी लगती है, तो तारीफ करना जरूरी है. आगे बढ़ते हुए मंजिल मिले लास्ट है, मंजिल मिले या नहीं मिले, जीत मिले या नहीं मिले, ये तो मुकद्दर की बात है, लेकिन हम कोशिश ही नहीं करें ये तो गलत बात है. इसीलिए मैंने शुरुआत में आपको बोला था, लहरों से डर कर नौका पार नहीं होती और कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. इसी के साथ साथ मैं हमारे देश को वंदन करने के लिए, देश को सम्मान देने के लिए सबको क्लास स्टैंड अप की माफी मांगते हुए मैं ऑर्डर दे रही हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे से बड़े बड़े लोग इधर है. क्लास स्टैंड अप, क्लास सावधान, एक साथ नेशनल एंथम शुरू करेंगे. शुरू कर.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा. विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा. तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे. गाहे तव जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
जय हिंद, भारत माता की जय। एक माफी चाहते हुए अशी पाकरे येथील स्मृती देऊन जाते भूत मॅडम आणि संगीता मॅडम या ठिकाणी उपस्थित राहिल्या, त्यांना मी मनापासून धन्यवाद देते। आणि रागाला येऊ नका, तुमचं नाव मी घ्यायला विसरले, पण परत एकदा सॉरी बोलते संगीता मॅडम आणि होर मॅडम।